Well, we're live.
Well, okay. We're
It's
alive.
alive! It's alive!
To sum up the past 5 minutes
It's
of
alive.
conversation, clitoris. That's
Thank
it.
you.
That's all you need to know.
Boy!
Hello, Internet.
Hey.
You're welcome.
We have
Here we
the
are.
Welcome to the
We
It's
made
been a
it.
while. Missed you guys. Man, who the fuck wants a recap for us? I'm sorry, I really am
The
in a
dice
fighting
will
mood.
We did it
Coming in hot this week.
yesterday.
Somebody recap that isn't Ed. I'll take volunteers first.
Okay, well, I guess I can.
I volunteer you to sit your ass down and take a break this week. God damn it.
I'm sorry, Ed,
Sick
you're
and
gonna have
tired
to
of
do
hearing.
it.
I'm sick and
Sick
tired
of
of hearing your dulcet, lovely tones. Okay.
Mm.
Your beautiful goddamn voice.
God damn.
turning me on.
Please.
Don't bully me. I'm gonna come.
It's like we recapped the last 5 minutes.
I know, seriously.
It's like it never stopped.
Please don't recap, I'll come.
That's fine. We'll get right into it then. No inspiration for anybody.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, war. Here we go.
All together.
What is it gonna
Like,
do?
Anyway,
Never
war.
change.
bring it together.
Absolutely nothing.
Since nobody's volunteered, I'll just roll. How about a 6, and we'll just see if I didn't even count. So no, well, technically it'd be me. So we're just gonna roll again. All the way to the back. River, take you on that recap.
Ooh,
Great.
interesting.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yay.
We
Why is everybody
finished
so
the
quiet?
cleansing of the church,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a thing that happened.
and we finished up also up some like last minute stuff with the scouting team. We did like a small recap of the scouting team as well because it had been a while. And then we went.
That was Ed.
Been a while.
Yeah, thanks.
We then proceeded to come back into the city. At which point I took Scud and we wind walked out of the city. I didn't actually write a lot of notes last session, so this is all on.
Do you want to popcorn to somebody else then?
No, I still remember some things, I think. So we also had some scenes with Semiville and everyone finishing like with the cleansing of the church, managed to sway the crowd, like kind of dull the crowd after all that shit that went down last time, which was like we have like a tiny sun, black hole sun.
Why don't you come?
Won't you come? Oh, it's all back to come again. Always was. It
Always has been.
was.
Yeah.
That's right.
We've just been edging this this
Oh.
whole time. And,
Edging is too far. It's ironic.
Isn't
Far
it
enough.
ironic?
They always come back.
I'm back.
I love a good comeback story.
Anyway,
He said come. He said come.
Yep. Count.
We also dealt with some potential logistics as far as trying to evacuate folks, determining
yeah.
that the river, not to be confused with the character, was a good
body of
potential area for people to
Funny
escape.
water.
And some people we already knew were evacuating to like the western, like gates, just like taking land evacuation. Some people were taking the river evacuation. We did. There was some more prep that happened, with like reinforcing gates and casting hallowed ground on gates and what have you. Oh, the other thing that was important about the scouting party is that we saw some like weird ground movement thing that was really bad, but we couldn't make out what it was.
Rumble. Very important.
Foreshadowing. And then
Now.
fast forward a bit more. What else happened? We had some scenes prepping for everything. People were using their heroic inspirations to do some like more guerrilla tactic scouting. We dealt with the giants, who we ended up just having to mercy kill, so that they did
Some
not
of them,
get
yeah.
a good portion of them, so they didn't get taken in by the enemy. or captured for whatever nefarious purpose they were gonna do. Are
gonna do.
gonna do. River, with Scud in tow, was like further away from the city, and also taking Cloud with him out of the city. Cloud was acting weird, looking at a red, like, was it a meteor
Star.
or astro? It was a star.
There's a star. Yeah.
A red star that was like flickering, looked like it was coming closer and further away or something. And Celestian himself came down and talked to River, and told him that basically his brother is being influenced by Hadar, which is a motherfucking dick move, Hadar. River asked Celestian to take his brother away, so that he wouldn't be affected by him. He cast Sleep on Cloud. He also, I just realized I did have Greater Restoration prepared as well, so I would have probably tried to do that.
Rip.
And then I would basically asked him to like hold on and keep Cloud safe while we dealt with all the shit that was going down in the city. Scud watched that whole thing happen. Was just like
Edging.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
Just
And-
edging.
Goot, straight
I
goot.
am edging.
Straight goon.
And then
In the corner.
yeah,
Scud sesh.
That's me in the
Yeah.
corner.
That's me in the spot. Light.
gaining my religion.
Edging
Uh,
religion.
Bug harassment.
No, you've been taking it full frontal, bro. Goddamn fire hose.
Bukkake from hell.
Why from hell?
Helm! Hell no!
I mean, does that get better? Higher quality bukkake.
Hard to enunciate around the fire hose.
Oh, baby.
Ooh, is that a new tankard you have there?
It's the same tankard, it just doesn't have its sleeve on it.
Oh, you
This one is
stripped
filled with cutwater margarita.
It's huge.
Ooh.
It's
That's
a
at least
naked
two
one.
margaritas.
It's like as big
Yeah.
as your
It's a lot of ice because it's so hot, but I got the second one right here.
It's so hot, I
Oh.
didn't want to wear all the leather.
Yeah, you
It
stripped
gets all
it
sweaty.
It's getting hot in here. Everyone, take off your clothes.
naked.
We're never gonna get to the siege, guys. It's never gonna happen. Next week.
We're just constantly
The Colts are just like,
This is-
why is everyone already dead? And why is everyone naked? What happened here?
They're like, maybe this was
What
a good
happens out?
I think this just works out best for everybody.
There was also a scene between Semiville and Koss,
Yeah.
who's like getting
I'll
all
kill you.
hyped for battle. He's like,
Kill you.
motherfucker, it's time for battle.
That exactly what he said. Of all the things you remembered, that was the most accurate.
He's like getting all hyped basically because he's like, I get to fucking do what I was made for and shit like that. Conquest.
Yep. Exactly right.
Conquest.
Then, boom! Two giant kaiju monsters appeared off the north sides of the thing. Probably those things that were in the ground earlier.
Who did
Yeah.
these things?
It's
It's great.
Oh god, big picture now.
It looks lovely. I love it.
I wasn't ready last time. I'm ready this time.
Ah,
Assets. I have asses. I have
great
them.
assets.
Assets.
They're still not organized.
I probably missed some stuff.
They're getting
That's what I
organized.
remember.
There were some dwarves.
yeah,
There were
Oh yeah,
dwarves.
yeah. Our
was,
dwarves came back and helped with the reinforcing of a gate somehow. I don't know if that actually happened, but we're gonna say it did.
Well, it. Okay. Okay.
I'm saying it
I did
now.
have it.
It totally
You have
happened.
the assets
Yeah.
organized. Maybe you can.
I have decided.
The
That's what
dwarves
that-
showed up and organized
Husband
all
decided.
the assets.
Yeah.
You know, instead of playing a game where you guys decide when you're going to level up, you guys decide who's going to DM. You're just like, I'm DMing now. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Here, go ahead.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
4th grade on the playground.
That's right. That's my ball. I'm playing.
not playing with you anymore. That's what
Yes. Who was among them dwarves? That was important. Aside from all of them. Vulcan, that's correct.
Oh, Vulcan. Yeah,
Vulcan.
Vulcan, the self-titled rival of Vulcan.
That's right.
Welcome, Brandon.
Brandon.
First time I met this
Brandon.
person.
Brandini.
My bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Brandino.
I completely forgot.
No, it's fine.
Welcome.
We are off schedule today.
I
But
got
we're
you.
playing
Yeah.
regardless.
I was like, Josh texted me. I'm like, God damn it, it's Monday, isn't it?
It sure is.
We meet again.
Buddy,
It's Monday.
Monday.
hello darkness, my old friend. It's Monday
Why?
once
Why?
again.
Let's see.
I did not go to sleep last night, so the only sleep I've had at all for the last day and a half has been little naps. So
Well, I'm
We'll see
sure
how
you
it
won't
goes.
take one tonight.
yeah,
You'll be riveted by this, I'm sure.
Get right.
So that did happen. The dwarves did happen.
Doors happen.
You guys evacuated. What was happening now that Brandon's here? What happened at the sea? Some one important point that happened at the
There were, like,
ocean.
lights in the ocean.
It was glowing.
it
It's
was correct.
correct.
There was something
Radioactive.
on the other side there.
Imagine Dragons.
I didn't like it.
But here, you don't have to imagine the dragons. They're real. They're here, coming at you.
Yeah.
Correct.
Tell me about it.
I'm gonna wreck it.
So Trixie demanded some scouts be sent to go investigate the lights because she did not trust it. Let me see. Does anybody else have anything else to add?
I had requested precision explosives or P4s.
Correct.
To
Still trying, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it happen. Hopefully.
Okay.
To hide in the taller buildings within the city, to see if I could collapse them should the walls be breached by the uncommon masses. So, hoping Dangle Pangle comes through. Working on it.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I've got I felt a distant fear that the Doomwaker of the Underdark's presence is looming over this city and is bringing down morale, even though I've been trying to raise it up, and it adds a layer of fear to the whole city, which is
Correct.
not great.
And has been for days, potentially weeks, but certainly ever since your arrival.
Yeah.
But as you were attempting to raise morale, what happened? What did you accomplish?
Oh, I raised it.
Oh, okay. Was that it?
Yeah, we just did it.
The morale, right?
Yeah, you're all feeling better, right? Like morale's right.
Rah,
So
rah, rah.
everything's a success. All right.
Yeah, he had his feet. It was great.
Runga. Kick him in the runga.
Rah rah ree, kick him in the knee. Rah rah ras, kick him in the
Other knee. That's right.
Definitely inspired a lot of the people.
Correct.
Good.
Doing your part for whatever good it'll do. Little by little, you're attempting to subvert the efforts of the Doomwaker and his dreary wearies, as it were. Anything else?
I'm gonna wreck it.
All
There was
right.
kind of a vision premonition for Foz, but it was mostly kind of what we already just recapped. Ish.
Yeah, putting
Yeah,
just a
like a
bit of
bad feeling.
import onto this this task at hand.
Oh right, we're in a historical event, guys.
More of like you're
Breaking
like
history.
the centerpiece. You're the
Yeah.
crux of a lot that can and can go that could go wrong, that can go can go right. Regardless of what happens here today, whoever wins or loses, this is a turning point in the fates. And what that means for you and the world at large is yet to be seen, but will be decided on these footsteps, or on these doorsteps, rather. What that means for you and the world at large is yet to be seen, but will be decided on these footsteps, or on these doorsteps, rather. What that means for you and the world at large is yet to be seen, but will be decided on these footsteps, or on these doorsteps, rather. What that means for you and the world at large is yet to be seen, but will be decided on these footsteps, or on these doorsteps, rather. Very good. Let's go over a couple things real quick. The Hadar and Celestian thing. Furthermore, River, you were told that Hadar's influence corrupted several others. It was not just exclusive to your brother and his desire to kill you. Who else? Do you remember who else was corrupted?
It was it was like Gale and I'm forgetting the other name. It wasn't Rain.
I'll give someone the opportunity to steal Bill's inspiration if I remember. I'm joking.
Wait.
It was Snow.
No.
Snooze.
Snow had the sapphire eye and Gale the amethyst eye.
Oh, I did not know that actually.
Those things.
Those things, yes. Good, well remembered, well remembered. Hadar skitters and wavers across the sky, dancing in an ever constant motion. Certainly not a stagnant thing. It would almost be beautiful if it weren't for the fact that, it's affecting your brother to try and kill you. And as such, the theft of his chosen Celestian takes umbrage with Hadar. He also tells you to fear or beware that which lurks between the dark spaces between the stars. And Hadar is ceaselessly hungry. Though I don't recall if I had you roll any sort of history check in recollection of anything you've heard of Hadar, but
I don't think so. But I think
I don't
we
think so.
remember them because that was the initial cult, right? That we fought the Underdark.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was a cult. I don't know if it was the original cult, but yeah.
River, go ahead and roll a history check with advantage.
It was like all the people who were the guild champion leader people,
Yeah.
and, like sucking them dry of their life.
Sucking them dry.
that one was for you, Matt.
Back to the suck. That's right.
Just a good old yuck yuck.
Blow.
Yeah, you recall, River, your first foray into sort of the preceding events that led you to this moment. The very first thing you did was go to Nathlon and go into the subterranean depths of Nathlon into what you could only presume was the Underdark or something similar, and repel a cult of Hadar attempting to bring some aspect or him himself into the world in his ceaseless hunger. They had captured and were siphoning the energies of the, I don't recall their name at the moment, but it was like a council of monks that were stationed there. And with a pang, you recall your friend, dear friend She, as he ran across some walls to kill those monks as quickly as possible. You guys were successful in the attempt to thwart them, but Hadar's corruption was felt throughout. That wasn't long before Lathander's paladins led a coup to take the city over, and Nathlon has been lost to Quiltir ever since. Quiltir and Odasses ever since.
Yup.
Indeed.
Dude.
Indeed. Very good. Go ahead and take your inspiration if you don't have it already.
I will.
Inspiration related question, Matt.
Yes.
I know we all had like the special inspiration thing.
The heroic inspiration?
Does that recharge at the beginning of the session, or
No.
we
What are the
remain
special
stuck?
rules about it?
Everybody has to
Everybody
use
has
it
to use
before
it.
we get it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everyone has to use it before you can regain it. So,
Okay. Just
That will most likely exclude costs. I will attempt to use it as early as possible, just so he's not the one
Not that guy.
Yeah, who's
in
still
the
has
way.
theirs anyway? I think I used mine.
I don't know if mine counted towards the explosives, but if not, then I still have mine.
We
still
need an
have yours.
epic. We need an epic gunpowder montage, Ed.
That was hard. That was hardly something worthy or
Okay.
needing your
Okay.
heroic inspiration.
Yeah.
Wasn't really necessary.
So then I have not used mine yet.
I've been nailing everything, so I haven't had to use mine either.
And like I said, just as a reminder, it's more like an enhancement of what you can already do. I wish, like, if you're attacking a single creature and you wanted to cleave, if you wanted to up a spell to either attack multiple targets or be more powerful, things like that. You can of course sell me on other things. The only caveat being the more you try to do with it, the more notice you'll take on the battlefield, and therefore draw more attention to yourself and be the target for more reprisal, if you will. Great. Any questions so far? And I think does anybody else have anything to add to the recap? I think that was it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds
Did
I
you all
miss-
get a
Sound
long
good.
rest before this?
Yes, you'll all start at a long rest.
Sorry, just taking care of all the bookkeeping stuff.
No, it's
Yeah.
correct. And the use of your heroic inspiration allowed you to travel farther with less effort, so you don't come back with more than 1 point of exhaustion, which can be easily rested away.
Did I miss what happened to the prince?
The prince has not arrived yet and has not been seen. Scud and River are en route to retrieve him, or attempt to retrieve him.
So
And Scud,
they're not in the city.
They are not in the city, no.
Hi, I'm good.
and Scud sent the amulet message, but it wasn't actually a message. It was more like a vibe to the prince. to help us out.
You guys sort of twisted the rules a little bit to allow you to get a message across to him. Unlock is off.
We were
useful.
heroically
Whoa!
inspired.
Hope you guys. You guys couldn't see that. Anyway,
Oh,
What?
what?
nothing.
Huh? What? Huh?
Well, I was changing the size of the token, and it like went to 56, and like
Oh,
it was like the size of the screen. I was
I
like,
saw a really
"Whoa!"
small one, and then I was looking away from. The
And you
screen.
saw him walk his tiny little ass over this way, and then he just grew and then walked his ass back that way.
My true size.
Very good. So you all begin. So like we're gonna walk it back a little bit. I want to start at a dramatic, or I wanted to end last session on a dramatic moment. But as the cults make their approach, and stop outside of trebuchet line, artillery line, the screams and torturings of their prisoners begin. Partially a psychological attempt against your morale and the city's morale, but also for deeds unknown. It could be part of the process. You're unclear. You'd have to go find resources for it. But you all are gathered to a war council with the leaders of the city to discuss strategy and plans while the cults make themselves known. Do you all wish to attend, or would you guys like to do other things? You would station yourselves on the wall, attempt to keep morale high, up to you guys, but you can all be there otherwise.
I think I'd like to listen in, if not at the walls.
Wait, do River and I have to make our way back?
You have to make your way to the prince first. This is same night when this is all starting.
All right, right.
Oh,
Can,
okay.
can somebody
Roger
open
that.
the Zoom call? Are you guys
Say
there?
again?
Sorry, making bad jokes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I have to turn my fan down. I can't hear.
Oh no, I was just making Zoom call jokes. Like, all right, somebody
The
White
want
noise
to
killing me.
have them dial in.
Yeah, let's get the whiteboard out.
If you're talking, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
That's the end of that joke. Sorry. um. So, War Council in attendance. Is there an exception to anybody, or would you guys all like to go?
I would like to go.
Very good.
I will be on the wall.
On the wall.
I think Trixie's with the scouting party.
Oh, you want to
went
go with the scouting party?
with the
Okay.
scouting party? Yeah, it's not that she doesn't want to be on the front lines, but in noticing that, she's like, this could probably be where I help out in a more informational status.
Sure.
Like, so I'd rather do that, and if I can get information back as quickly as possible, she's gonna go with the scouting party to see what's going on the water.
Makes sense to me. All right. Sorry, doing other things in the background. So we've got Bud on the wall. That just leaves Sylvia, Wilkin, Wolf, and Koss to attend a war council. So before you all, or you four, you have the leaders of said city, Captain of the Guard, and standing the Royal Guard and standing army, Captain Griswold. Thank you, everybody.
Jerry.
You see Jerry. You see two others, or one other with him, a orcish figure, stooped and hooded in sleeveless red robes, crimson robes. His gray and greenish skin is like flecked with like purple and red. They look like they're like intersecting lines or veins across his body. But he leans heavily on a knobbly staff and is in deep discussion with Griswold. Additionally, Aegis Naomi Hightower, the High General of Helm's armies, is in attendance, as well as Rogel, a stand-in for the leader of the Basking Glow, and a stand-in for the erstwhile Lathander. They all talk in hushed tones until Aegis Naomi essentially steps up and says, "Ah, good, you're here. We can get started right away. Seems you know most everyone here. This is Grog Nash, our the Infernal Chain, Orcish Warlock and leader of the mages within our city, and all of those under the magical persuasion. Our Ranger General would sit here, but unfortunately she was lost in an earlier scouting mission, and her position is yet to be filled. You already know Rogel, and for myself, I am Aegis Naomi Hightower, who is known to you, and she gives a nod to Koss, and your companion, Bud. We are here to discuss tactics. Grog Nash was telling us that this particular cult is known to him, and was filling us in on the details. He limps forward, and in the low light of evening and dusk, the candlelight kind of reflects a little menacingly across him, but he himself has a glow to him. His robe is open at the front, and he's bare-chested. Not dissimilar to what Kronash was wearing. There's like a little bit of a semblance to the two in their makeup, but his robes are tattered. They look like they're burned and there are holes in places. Across his chest, you can see those red and purple lines again intersecting, and they glow. One seems to be moving ever forward. The other seems to burn like fire. Right against that opposite energy. Passive perception, Sylvia, I know yours is high.
24.
I think mine's a 17.
24, 17, and Wilkin, what is yours?
12.
12. You don't notice anything then.
This is Grognash, right?
Grognash, yeah. I know Casas is high. It's also a 17. Okay, so I'll say this is for Sylvia and Sylvia, Koss, and Wolf, who notice like his skin has this like blackened, charred look, like it's been burned, or it is currently burning. Whatever these red lines are seem like actual fire. And whatever this purple energy is like, as you guys get a closer look at him as he steps into the light, it's almost like an infestation of something. It like kind of like skitters and moves as though it's trying to eat his skin, but the fire is keeping it at bay. But it's still like infested across his body. He says, well met, heroes. You are known to us of the Nash tribe. Your deeds are sung amongst our clan. But here we talk about the Hollowed One. Hollow as an empty. Little is known about the sin-born gods as they fell into ruin and shame. However, their traits tend to carry over, and the Hollow One delights in pain. He presents a forearm, and you can see. You guys remember the mummy when there's like the scarabs that kind of pulse out of the skin and stuff.
Ooh.
Smaller scale, but more numerous. And as they flare to his like almost at his command in some way, the fire too does meet his command and like burn away part of the infestation until it recedes. And says, "She delights in the torture and maiming of others. I'm sure you can already hear their screams. It's almost like worship to them. Expect ours to die a painful and hopefully quick death." Of the classes of sin-born monsters, you expect insectoids, heavily armored, likely poisonous, sharp claws, wounds that bleed and fester, infestations, and the like. My experience is limited, but I'm sure there's more. And I'm sure there'll be surprises for us in store. And he chuckles a little bit. Naomi Hightower says, "Thank you, Groganash. Well, I hear you have all been busy. Let's catch up." And you regale the High General with what your deeds have been and what you've been doing across the city. And she is open to recommendations for where your focus should be. She attempts to limit it to the Wolfcrest Gate, reinforcing the garrison on the river to cover retreat, or sorties out into the field. She says, "Of all the things you can do, I wish to keep you as an individual strike team. Our forces are many, but I worry that they have less experience in these areas than you." And she looks to you all. "I'm hoping you'll be the swing factor that might see us through. You will have the freedom to pick and choose what you wish to do across the field. Groganash will be coordinating with his minions for communication, and should anything arise that is in need of your attention, you shall know it. Our mystics will remain here, keeping an eye on things, and should you ever need a larger view of the battle, feel free to return at any time. I myself will coordinate the front lines. Rogel has volunteered to oversee any sort of medical and healing units we have. Our Ranger General still is absent, and I was hoping one of you might fill that position as well.
What would that entail?
Archers, scouts,
Don't you take my spot,
sabotage.
bitch.
You're not there. You were supposed to be there, but you explicitly said you didn't want to be there.
Sounds familiar.
It encompasses an entire what was zinger. It encompasses an entire array of disciplines, and not simply the art of bow, or bow brush, or intelligence. You'll be coordinating many across the field, either from the front or from here.
Well, whoever may be in that position currently is not in the position to barter. If the position needs to be filled, I would gladly take responsibility for the actions of the Ranger General.
Yes, your deeds are known to us. Tell me, does any among you, do all of us here approve? She's mostly looking at the rest of the group. Wolf, you are known to us as well. Do you have any qualms about passing leadership over?
I mean, I know Sylvia's capable, but if she doesn't want the job for some reason, I can pick it up, fill up the void.
Yeah,
We'll go wherever
let's
I'm
have
needed.
backup.
Very good. Then it is decided. You shall coordinate as you see fit. Feel free to give orders. I'll disseminate the change of leadership down amongst the troops. Captain Griswold gives you a nod, Sylvia. Both
Need a
of
right
you...
hand. Just call on me.
Hello. Don't be too far.
Technically all three of you, but all three rangers, but the two of you were familiar with the previous Ranger General as being a capable person, however, having filled the role for some time. The loss of on a scouting mission is surprising given their amount of experience, and bodes ill for whomever they went with them. But Sylvia, if you're sure you're up to the task, so she says, preparations begin immediately. Coordinate yourselves and best of luck.
So what do we know so far? We know a little bit about their capabilities from Gronash.
Grognash brings up a hand, and his
Is
hand
it Grognash or Gronash?
Raw Nash,
Oh,
GNA.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
I put another god.
Wasn't sure if
Error.
it was the silent G in the middle or if it's just a Grognash.
I'm doing a poor job of I enunciate it sometimes, and
Okay.
well, I guess the tunneler is going to tell you who his name is.
It's Grognash!
God, get it right.
All right, but
Please.
what else do we know about their movements, numbers, anything like that?
An imp flies through the window and like collides with his burning hand. He's like, what? Yeah, they're torturing him, all right. He says, they number in the thousands. Lots of mages and people in armor. Seems they're trying to inflict maximum amounts of pain before sacrifices, but it's all ritualistic and stuff.
Not too different from what we saw, eh, Wolf?
Do we have any way to interrupt that? Sylvia, you were asking about airstrike capabilities before this, right?
Was
Any developments on that front?
not on my end. Decided to focus my efforts on getting the city fortified with potentially explosives to slow the oncoming hordes. But is this something that perhaps the Aegis or the current War Council has as far as potential for an airstrike? I know we had just sent on out to scout the impending potential mages in the east. You had told us how that went.
Well, indeed, we have 2 ships available to us, but they're slow, and in the dark, we risk a higher chance of mishap. Plus, you're shooting at unknowns. As far as airstrikes, we could position archers upon both sides of boats, but it's unclear what we'd be hitting.
Just wondering if, since it's ritualistic, if there was any way to interrupt those rituals.
Grognash is like, not without direct intervention. And his eyes take on a far-seeing opaqueness before they come back.
All right, so that one doesn't sound terribly feasible. What else we got?
Not without a commitment of resources. Well, if there's nothing else, everyone in the room roll a history check for me, just for some ancillary information. But
So, quick question amongst the party: how communicated was it that we think the cultists' goal is the temple?
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't communicated to anybody as of yet.
From like the Sam party, Sam and Bud and everybody.
Sam, Bud, and Cause.
So the immediate party, all of you know, and Rogel. It is unclear what Rogel has said. And Samaville's not here. We'll say Samaville's out on the wall with his contingent of troops. Likewise, trying to keep things elevated. So we'll start from lowest. Oh, here.
I have a question, Matt.
Shoot.
Where in the city is that temple? Where the is? Or like the black hole sun thing?
That's a great question. Hang on.
Quick, get out the dartboard.
Yeah.
It's outside the wall, underneath the Pearl Arch. I wish my aim were better. No.
Can I just drag things in here? No, I can't. Okay.
You can just,
So it's closest to the Bright Road.
Okay.
Because as the sun rises in the east, the temple wants to be as close as it can to that first light. It is within the city walls. So what we'll say is that it's in this courtyard here with the tree.
Oh, okay.
Here. I will find a suitable token to mark that for you all. But yeah, it's right there.
Okay.
Ooh, wow. That's
For the time being.
The gate.
Wow, they sell token frames on Etsy. That's interesting.
Nothing like those digital.
Sure, it's only a couple bucks or something, but like, well, what?
Oh, do you need token frames? There's like a free one that's available.
Oh no, I was looking for sun tokens, but I got a lot of actual sun like frames, and just a lot of results on the on that front. Any other questions?
So we have two.
Just to kind of clarify, as far as what I know we're supposed to, or the Ranger General role is being filled for the purposes of this, but we're supposed to be kind of a singular force. So how will that role be influenced by kind of us all working together as one?
Sure.
How will I be split?
Mechanically, you can. It essentially gives you command directive, right? So if you come across any archers, you can command them. If you wish to hang back and order them around, that is available to you as well. I will even say, like, you have assets. Like you've been collecting like soldiers and little units to use. This would allow you to also call in archers at your whim.
Okay.
A certain number of times throughout the siege, but
my main directive outside of that will be within the party as a singular strike team. Got it. Okay.
yeah, you can literally think of it as like Sylvanas from WoW. Like, keep shooting is an order. Like, but they
Yes.
generally listen to you.
Fuck, yes.
But I'm out of arrows.
realized.
It doesn't matter. Keep shooting.
Knock, draw, loose the entire time.
Hold.
Hold. Yeah. But position of troops, if that comes up, that can also be something you can direct them.
Sweet.
And that would apply past just archers. It's not like the archers only follow your orders, but you have a certain amount of acumen between the troops and the surroundings. So,
Gotcha.
sorry, I'm also partially stalling because I want to try and drop this little sun here somewhere.
Like Spider-Man 2.
The power of the sun in the palm of your hand.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nope, don't do that.
It's a Doc Ock reference, yes.
It is, yes.
Heck yeah.
Temple.
Meanwhile, while I'm trying to figure my shit out, we'll start from the bottom. Wolf, basic knowledge of orcs. You know them as highly capable, as in general, as
this
a
is Gronash's group that you're referring to, or
Gronash's
just
group.
well, sorry, orcs.
As a race in Odasses.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm just wondering if there's like a specific group of orcs that you're.
No, across all tribes. This is just
okay.
a generality among them.
Oh, okay. Right. Just trying to figure out.
They're hyper capable in all things, combat or any sort of like tactics or just martial prowess. They are known to be. When you see one on the battlefield, they are to be feared and or respected. For the rest of you, Zoom, Sylvia, Vulcan, you all know, having at least been around for the Awakening, Wolf being a little more fresh, orcs were rather contentious as a race, and while they did have their place within society, really kind of clashed in general, having the constant need to prove themselves in combat, as well as die a glorious death. Think more Klingon than just like raging barbarians the entire time. Like their sole purpose in combat is to die as bloody and gloriously as they possibly can. Now, obviously, in a civilization like between city walls with means of holding court and resolving conflicts, they eventually sort of just took themselves out in the mountains, particularly the Mithril and the Forlorn mountain regions in the north and the west. But when the Awakening occurred, they came back in droves, and were quick to be the bulwark against the monsters as people kind of got their shit together. This is what they were bred and born for. As the guilds were formed, they swelled their ranks as shock troops and highly capable commanders and trainers for future sorts. Vulcan in particular, you saw quite a number of them within the Legionnaires, the Bloody Dogs, the Burning Scimitar, all little units of highly trained shock troops and orcs that would just drop behind monsters or into heavily infested areas. Whether they returned or not was irrelevant. That was their purpose. But more so for you, Zoom, they have a sort of primal affinity that you saw in the Ancient's Call and the Barbarian guilds. Natural fits for orcs. They also have a natural affinity for the earth, the elements, and the primal powers.
Somebody didn't like the primal powers.
Yeah, that's not my problem. The internet is internet and Wi-Fi is also a primal power of a sort.
Margarita.
Their
So as
subscription expired. Anyway, go ahead.
and as things kind of break, whose hair is that? That's not mine. That's gross. That's
Jameson.
probably Mira. Jameson's in the
or
shed,
Mira.
so once I pull it out of his
One or the
tail,
other.
he doesn't.
That's fair.
So as you guys break apart to, discuss amongst this war council, like the official part is sort of over. Koss goes over to speak to Naomi Hightower. You guys are welcome to schmooze amongst whomever and ask your questions as needed. So what else? If nothing, we'll move right along. If you think of something, let me know.
All right.
Trixie, I will take you guys to the world map real quick. Just to kind of get a scale for what's going on here, right? I don't recall. This is not the scale. All right. It takes you the better part of several hours to get down through. Like, there's a trail running through here, but there's a lot of people moving carts of possessions and children, the old, the infirm, some more young and capable than probably should be fleeing, but should be helping defend. But you take a group of like at least 6 scouts down to the coast, pushing your way through the crowds. The aurora of light, so brightly seen from the city, it doesn't quite like shine out of the water so much as just like illuminate the entirety of the area. What exactly are you looking for? Or anything you'd like to focus on?
I kind of want to see, like, I mean, I understand the light's coming from the water, but I'm wondering, is there like a place to pinpoint exactly where that glow is coming from as best as we can? If we have to if there's an air skiff or something that we can take out there to take a closer look as best as possible, or if we just have to be out here and just trying to take a gander at what's going on.
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no air skiffs per se. Simply seafaring vessels here, and there are dozens, but rather small, ranging from fishing boats to trade vessels. These ships range in size, but it's immediately clear to you that there is a choke point here where not enough ships are present to take all these people. And where they're even taking them, it's unclear to you. But you could take a boat out on the water and try and see. But there's no airship here for you.
All right, I take the best rangers I have in my small. Well, I just take them all. I was like, all right, we're taking a boat. Let's go.
Easily done. On official business, you commandeer a quick boat out into the water. Go ahead and roll a perception check with advantage. For the size of your group, you get a something on the smaller end of. It's not a rowboat per se, but it's got 4 oars on it. But somewhere between skiff and galley, you've got 4 oars that can take you out. So 4 of your scouts are preoccupied, leaving 4 of you to look into the water.
I split that again, and I'm like, I need 2. I need 1 man on each oar so we can get it moving quicker.
So there were six scouts and yourself. 4 go
6
on the 4 go on the oars, leaving
Me and
3. Sorry.
3.
Wait,
Okay,
no,
I just
that
want.
math doesn't math. Yeah.
Wait, I'm
3.
like, I was like, there's 6 scouts and me. That makes 7, right?
7 total minus 4, so 3 people who can look.
Okay, cool.
while
Yeah,
the
as
rest
long
are
as
rolling
okay,
away.
I just want to make sure that I was like, I want full strength on each oar. We're moving
Yes.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed. Okay. So with a 27 perception, the water is almost occluded with the light coming from this thing. It doesn't illuminate like there's no light above, right? And this light, to be this bright, is coming from a powerful source. And as you look down into the water, you can see serpentine shapes moving through the water, all arcing with varying colors of electricity across their bodies. It's
Can I do like a maybe a nature or an animal handling check? Just because a monster, just because I see a lot of serpentine things moving down there, raging with electricity, doesn't necessarily mean that they're the problem. They could be resonating from the problem. Can I do like a nature or
nature for sure?
Yeah, I don't want to
let's-
interact with them.
Yeah, less so animal. You just pull one out of the water.
Yeah, just let me see this real
Get
quick.
over here. Let me look at you. What's that guy on Instagram who goes around the jungle, like grabbing, or not the jungle, but like the swamp? Like he's just like, I'm
Yoink.
looking for a gator, and he
River monsters guy?
yoinks up like snakes and frogs. He's like, you're coming with
We
me.
had a guy like that in our generation. He was great, and he passed away.
And then he,
Rest in
yeah,
peace,
I wonder
Rock
how.
Yeah, man, just grabbing shit. It poked my chest.
Sorry, I got distracted. With a 17, it's clear that the light is coming from these creatures, but you only pick out like yellows and blues, like from the electricity arcing across them. Where like there's like some pinks and reds, where those are coming from, not entirely clear. And well, not entirely clear. With a 27, you do we still have those things in here? Let me double check something real quick.
Can I do an Arcana?
No, Arcana wouldn't really
Okay.
work here.
Okay.
I would allow you to roll a history check with disadvantage.
History. Oh, well, it's only a +2, so might as well do it.
Shoot your shot.
There it is.
There's a inkling of something at the back of your head that you just lose. Like it's like a quick itch of like familiarity or deja vu, and then it's gone.
Damn it! What did I get
And
struck by?
It's unclear what the extra glow would be, but you're fairly certain it's not coming from these creatures. But with your 17, these fit descriptions of. There are very few serpents that have electrical properties that you've heard of. There's only one that you know of for sure that recently had a swelling of offspring in the Odasses Sea. If you catch my drift. And if you don't, that's okay.
Sperm.
No, you don't want it, or no, you don't catch my drift.
It's a little of both.
Okay. The only sea serpent you know with electrical properties was the Doomwaker of the Sea.
Doom.
Yeah, that's right. That's yeah. Hooray!
Hooray! Its young is here.
Well, I was kind of right in what I said earlier. You know, is this something? Yeah, it's something from an offsetting of what we did.
Sort of. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we the villains?
Okay.
Are we bad people?
Oh, no,
the
you're really not.
You're really not. Technically, if Bulkin just got his shit together, this wouldn't be a problem.
Vulcan.
God damn it, Bulkin.
Damn it, Vulcan.
But yeah, the as you guys take your ship out, the young sort of gather around your skiff, and there's your hair begins lifting and standing on end as their just sort of proximity to your boat increases. They don't like attack the boat, but you can see them like start moving up to the surface where they're like arcing and moving through the waters, like hoping for something to happen, like you're gonna fall out of the boat.
I tell the men, I'm just like, that's far enough. We can go back. I think we have enough information that we're gonna gather and stay alive as I watch our hair stand on end. Let's get back to the shore. I think that'll be a much safer way, and we can see if we can build plans there.
Hate that it rolls as whoever you're selected as. It's funny. The Sky Dancer rolls a 3.
What could that mean?
Can you roll me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Safe.
I hope the Sky Dancer has good wisdom.
Well, it does have a Flump AI in it, so maybe it does. I imagine it would fail a strength saving throw, but the rest of it's probably fine. As you say, we should get back to shore, you hear a sploosh behind you. Your head whips around, and you see just in time a reddish tentacle back into the water. Something unfamiliar to you, but the sudden increase of this ominous light. You see one of your scouts with his foot up on the skiff, and as the tentacle goes down into the water, he follows it straight in.
He follows it? Like he
Yeah, like
voluntarily follows
like
it?
he walks right off the ship and down into the water. Do you do anything immediately?
I grab the person next to me, whoever's next to me, either on an oar or whatever, and I immediately say, stop whatever you're doing. And I monitor everyone that's kind of like what's going on for a quick second. Like I want to see like everyone else's reactions upon what's going on, but I don't want them to move.
You see them all, they all have their heads turned toward where the tentacle was. The rest of them are shaking their heads, kind of like in bewilderment, including your only other remaining scout who is looking overboard. And as, sorry, what did you say? Go back, stop what you're doing? Is that
Yeah,
what you said?
yeah, because I'm like, if it looks like he like voluntarily walked into the water, I'm like, I don't want to try and like reach for him or grab for him. And I don't want anybody else to do the same. I'm like, he's gone.
Got it. And you see the looks of bewilderment like kind of give way to like concern, like should we? And then you see another tentacle rising up on the opposite side of the ship, and you see it now, the hypnotic pattern of light running up its tentacle.
Sorry, that was an accident.
Okay.
I'm a dumb boy.
No.
With a
If
plus
you
7,
don't-
he says.
If
Yeah.
you don't have it, I'll give you inspiration.
Well, it's a wisdom saving throw, so we'll allow it. But I'm gonna need another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, well.
Another
from
wisdom
the-
save? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that other one was an accident. I was moving the page down.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa, what the?
I shall hold then.
Oh my
No.
god.
That's a
I
lot
forgot
of
that. No, this is for your crew.
Oh, it was like 153. What the?
All other sound and noise is drowned out as you see the tentacle kind of list back toward the other side of the ship, closer toward you. You feel the presence of two other people stepping up beside you as you find your feet up on the side of the skiff. And you look down as the tentacle starts moving down. You look into the water and you are met with hundreds of serpents consuming the body of a single person who
Oh.
fell into the water before you.
Oh, great.
If anybody has inspiration, now's the time.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah,
Did I-
My
me too as
statement still
well.
stands.
I don't even think I used mine from the last time.
Oh,
You can
if,
use
if
it.
you have it,
Then
you
go
can
for it.
use
Did
yours first.
Yeah, you choose first. I'm ready. To
Yeah,
get mine, too.
I'll use. Oh yeah, wisdom save, right?
Indeed.
God. All right.
Wow, that's pretty good.
This would be an opportune time for your heroic actions as well. This would be one of those times where, like, you, with your sudden burst of clarity, you're like, holy shit. Like, you're looking down into the water as you suddenly come to your senses, and you feel the two people next to you
Yeah,
moving
that's what I was gonna say.
forward.
I grab the two people next to me, and I immediately like grab the back of their shirts and rip them and rip down, so it jerks their necks back, so they fall back into the boat.
And as you do so, you feel the whipping of the tentacle lash against your mind briefly, but at your sudden regaining of consciousness, it like sneaks back into the water.
I tell the other.
Take eight psychic damage.
Okay.
But you're able to save two members of your two members of your crew.
Sweet. I'll take it. I tell them immediately to start rowing back to shore. We need to warn the people not to go into these waters, or they need to take a different route, but they need to be verified by our scouts, or whoever was part of this crew. And for the moment, but our best bet is to get back first and make the warning. I have, so just in case on standby, if a tentacle comes out while we're rowing back, I'm gonna cast Dragon's Breath just so I could,
Just torch it.
yeah, I'm not playing the game. I was like, I could do. I was like silvery barbs, but
A wise choice.
yeah, it's a.
And as you make your way back, there's only two more attempts at it. As you just jutsu, just like bathe the surface of the water in flame.
I'll waste the two second level spell slots for it. I don't care.
Much to the appreciation of your crew, as they quickly, as fast as they can, row your silly asses back to shore.
Sure.
And you just hear the shrieking cries of these creatures. The closer look you get at them the next time, you see eyeball stalks at the ends of some of these as they look and watch, waiting for you to draw you back through. Unsuspecting prey to hypnotically pull into the waters. And the history check I had you roll now makes sense. You suddenly remember Umlau's first journey.
Yeah.
Umlau's first journey, they were on the way to Ansagon, ran into these sort of
That's
hypnotic creatures that pulled people off of boats and into their waiting tentacles.
So they're back.
That's where Umlau sang the creepy song to the guys. The three guys who lived.
Oh
good
no,
times.
different ship.
Oh,
You're
is
thinking
that
of the one
different
that
ship?
ended up over here? Yeah,
Oh, good times still.
good times, good times. But you make it back to shore with more information than when you started.
Huzzah.
Hey.
Huzzah. Yeah, I take
Not
that.
good information, but it is information.
I take that and send.
Sorry, minor
there's-
correction to myself. It's great information. It's bad news.
News. Yeah. So
For
there's six of
information's
us.
sake, it's great.
So we only lost one person, right?
Yep.
Cool. I'm glad that I definitely made that move to let that guy go for the sake of everybody else. All right. So we get back to shore. Hey, sometimes you gotta
Yeah, you
kill
gotta
the
do
one to
what you
save the
gotta do.
many.
Yep.
So I take I split up the scouts. We go back to the castle or back to the city to kind of warn everyone there, but I send the other three to go to the docks. and all the docks and warn everyone there not to take the seas.
A human female pulls you aside and she says, "Thank you for what you did."
Is it one of my scouts?
Yeah, she just says, and you recognize her as like one of the ones you pulled back from the brig.
And I look her dead in the eye and I go, "There's no time for thanks. It's only time to live. Go, do your job."
Gives you a nod and goes about her business.
Trixie, not nice during war.
All good, dude. That was awesome. Good job. Love that. That was fun. So yeah, Toolmaker of the Sea and those tentacle things are out there. Just be aware. Let me throw you guys all out here so you guys kind of have a position of where you guys are at, and I will do this with everybody in the city itself as well. Foz, assume you are on the Sky Dancer unless otherwise stated, or you want to be somewhere else. Let me know.
You would be flying.
Make sure you take your long rest. I just realized Koss wasn't long rested.
Plus 14.
Don't worry about positions. We're just this second, just throwing everybody out here.
Now, would I be taking a long rest, or would I be where I'm at?
I would say that you haven't done anything that would kind of invoke any sort of exhaustion just yet, so you're okay for now.
Okay.
If you get back in time, you'll probably be okay to get enough of a rest. Maybe not as good a rest as you would like, but certainly a rest nonetheless.
As well
Would it? You're right. Would it be enough to at least get one of my second level spell slots back?
Well, you will be getting a long rest at the end of this, so yes.
Oh, okay.
100%. If these tokens are too small, zoom in. Okay.
Oh, get better eyes.
Or get better. I don't know what do you want me to do everything for you? God, Jesus. Just wipe your ass for you too. Sure, why not? I'll edge you to completion. Why not?
Oh, whoa.
Oh there.
Hey yo,
Hey yo.
hey yo. Bing bong. Here's your edge. Okay, so River and Scud, we come back to you in the dead of night. Scud, you're still shell shocked. You in the past 24 hours have interfaced with Cyric, Bahamut, now Celestian, fucking a newborn god, Lathander's corpse. It's all tits up, and it takes you back to the days of pre-awakening when you were hunting not the Lady of Pain per se, but like your deeds in Hinterwood and what transpired there. Just you're kind of feeling that sense of not drowning, but you're in over your head for sure. In some ways, like it seems like no matter how far you come, you're still in over your head. And this is no different. So the floor is for you two. River, as your brother is swept away, I will give you an opportunity to... Now, I recall from this conversation that you didn't have the spell slots for greater restoration. Is that true or no?
I had the spell slots.
Okay.
I couldn't find it on my list in the moment last session,
Got
but
it.
it was there.
Okay.
When I was prepping spells for today, I realized, oh, I did have it prepared.
Would that have changed what you have done?
It
Would you
just
have
would have
wanted
been
to
one of the it would have been one of the spells I cast on him.
with the intent of what?
Well, without knowing exactly what was happening at the time, I was just casting whatever I had on me to potentially counteract any mind control effects that was going on.
I see.
or domination, stuff like that.
All right. We can retcon this a little bit. And as you approach him, go ahead and roll either a Arcana, Religion, or Medicine. I'll say.
Medicine is my best of those three, so we'll try that. Below average for me.
But average nonetheless. There's a brief moment where it's unclear as you how do you approach your brother with this, and how are you trying to cast a spell? Currently, you're in front of him. He's watching this star dance across the sky, and he's got this dagger in his hand. He hasn't made any sort of movement toward you. He hasn't done anything necessarily.
Well, I think I definitely put him to sleep first. That was like the first thing I did.
Okay.
Was like cast sleep, and then after that, I was like, then casting greater restoration, lesser restoration. I also had remove curse, I think.
Okay. So as you drop down to kind of analyze him a little closer, you just take a look at his face. He's your brother, without a doubt. Some of the, I guess, pain and loss and anxiety and worry has sort of drifted away from him in his unconscious moments. With a 10 medicine, you're not seeing anything out of the ordinary. He looks like your brother. Maybe a little older or a little more care-ridden than he was when you last saw him deep in the Underdark, but brother he is nonetheless.
Yeah, I imagine it probably didn't do much, but we'll still let the scene play out as is.
Okay. And as Celestian sweeps him beneath the starry cloak and vanishes with your brother, there is only a reddish ruby eye left in the grass upon their departure.
I'll just pick it up.
It's like the ring. It's as you pick it up, you can feel it at your touch. For whatever reason, you are immune to its influence, but you can feel the wrongness in it. You surmise that somehow Hadar has influenced Celestians chosen through their eyes.
I'll like wrap it up in something and put it in my pack. But I'll keep it in a separate bag than I do Rain's Eye. And I'll soak it in holy water as well. I'll soak like the cloth in some holy water that I have.
Ooh.
Is it a literal eye or like a jewel?
The jeweled eye. So
It is
River has a jeweled eye that has replaced his current one. It's a topaz. Cloud has a similar one, but in ruby, but no longer.
Got it.
You and Scud have a moment. you kind of come back to yourself, River, and you look up, and Scud is standing there.
Oh. You saw all that, did you?
Indeed I have. And I won't say I haven't seen anything that weird in my life yet, but it's definitely up there.
They say, well, I expect once we get back to the city, we'll seeing things much weirder.
Oh yes, I'm definitely prepared for that. I sense we have, we're slightly in over our heads, but I believe once we reach the prince, we will have a chance.
Indeed.
All right. Is there anything else you would wish to do or say before bed? Before I return to the city? Very well. Oh, go ahead.
Oh. I'll use. And
Oh. You're gonna use what now?
I was thinking of using an item, but it's not really going to do anything.
Alrighty.
So
Anything
never
else?
mind. Yeah,
Very good.
I cast.
I'll just say I say this like we should get some rest.
I can't
We have
remember.
we have a lot of traveling to do tomorrow.
Agreed.
We have far to go. And we must make haste.
We travel light.
Let's hunt
We
some
do
more.
not stop till nightfall.
And you have my sword.
3 days.
Is that? Are we in the wrong movie?
That's,
Am I in the
that's,
wrong movie?
nope, that's the right movie.
Natural sprinters. Very dangerous over short distances.
That's a different movie. Technically. All right. Back in the war room. Does anybody have any questions for Grognash or anybody else before we just continue on?
Continue away.
Continue.
Very good. Grognash says,
Continue.
he says,
Yes.
you shall see, you shall hear from me. My imps shall find you. And he, like, as he steps back, he steps into a circle, and he's just got little. It's like a big ring with many circles around it, and he just lifts his hands, and a bunch of imps just start crawling from like the depths of like infernal portals. They're like chittering and like crawling. He says, "To the winds, my pretties," and they all go flying out of the windows. And he's like, I love this. He's as you guys depart for your whatever destinations, you get the distinct impression that Grognash is in his element and he's very much enjoying what's happening.
Thriving.
Yeah, living his best life. Very good. So, hang on. Last call for anything before I continue. Promptly.
Oh, remember when we put those landmines out in the fields? Remember?
Well, speaking of that, the
Totally
P4s
did that.
are ready. God damn it, you made it a thing. I just said it.
Mhm. Yay!
I will give you the
Spears streets
opportunity,
ahead.
Sylvia, with your newfound authority, a frazzled and exhausted looking Dangle Pangle approaches. He's like, "Yeah, I have your C4s ready for you." I don't know what his voice is. It's like-
It's that.
it's
It's
this. It's what I dictate it to be. He says,
Sounds exactly like I remember.
"Wait, no, he was crazy. Who was the one who was like the your mom guy? Who was that?"
Oh shit,
I don't remember.
I forgot. But I know there were memes posted about it.
Yeah.
Is that not Vulcan?
Oh yeah,
That
that's
is
right.
Vulcan. That's Vulcan.
That is Vulcan. That makes more sense. This guy's a little more crazy. He says, "I've got your explosives ready," and he holds out these crazy-looking clattery charges they're like blue alchemist fire, essentially. He says,
Cool.
I forewent the fire for more of the alchemy." And he holds one out to you, and it's literally there are these 3 vials, two down, one up, bound together with cord, and there's just wires going crazy between the 3. 2 are blue, 1 is green. He says, "Be very careful. Try not to blow yourself up."
Is there anywhere I need to make sure I don't touch or elements I should not bring to? And also, how do I turn it on?
He says, "I can't warn you. I don't know how they work. These are the first of their kind. But I've got a little wick here that it could be set for a timer. and if you throw them, they'll probably explode.
I'll take it as you say. Thank you.
As far as remote detonation, I didn't get that far.
I'll figure something out.
I'm sure you will. I'm gonna go back to the ship where it's safe. Bye. And he just leaves.
And then just have these, like,
Try not to
crystals in my
die. You have enough, and I will take you back here.
So 2 blue and 1 green.
Oh well, so each charge essentially has 3 vials. So, like I'm describing a single charge to you that has
Okay.
3 vials, 2 blue, 1 green. It looks like when prompted, like when flipped, you can kind of see some fluid move between like these little tubes and across these wires. You imagine that the green is like and kind of sort of like the ignition, and the blue is the boom boom of some kind.
Okay.
You could try and suss out more, or you could just trust.
I don't know if we have time to, and I think it's more fun seeing what happens. So, yeah, I'll look at it with the examination that you had just described. I'll take the wick, and if there's any sort of just because I figure it might potentially be useful, if there's any sort of way I could like light a fire, like I don't know, if there's like some sort of sparker. I'll have that on hand. In case I need to try to do something remote, I will try to hit it from a distance. That makes sense.
Roll a survival check.
Okay. Survival.
Dude, this cup is sweating like a motherfucker, dude. So much
22.
ice in it.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say a 22?
Yes.
Pretty good, dude. 14's a lot.
I'm good at surviving.
You reckon that there's you have enough experience with flint and steel and some sort of ignition sparking. You're like, I can make this work, and you actually fashion some flint arrows that, when struck, would likely spark like crazy when shot hard enough. And as long as your aim is true, but you're pretty confident in your aim, so
Yeah,
at
I
this
trust.
point, trust. That's right. Very good. Now let me drag yo asses out here. Hang on. Oh, did I? No, never mind. We're good. This is more so. This whole siege is more going to be. It's gonna be less battlefield and more like narrative, more your choices and things. It's gonna be the broader, high level strokes that are gonna matter more than I kill swaths of minions, right? Like it's not really gonna make as big an impact as if that's what you guys want, and you guys just want the siege to play out narratively. We're gonna get through this very quickly. But you guys are able to interject whenever. You guys are able to, well, assuming you're not otherwise preoccupied, move about quickly. But I will position. Go ahead and position yourselves throughout the map. But like Bud, you're on a wall. I'll say Samaville's with you. You can move him wherever you want. So starting position wise, we're going to start. Well, you guys. River and Scud are here mostly just so you guys have vision. I guess you guys already had vision. It's irrelevant, but you two there, here. Sky Dancer. Where's my airship? Where the fuck is my airship? It's in the Sky Dancer airship folder, because I did organize that. We will make this slightly bigger, because it is rather large. Okay. That's generally where you all are. So, as the wails and cries of tortured innocence permeate your ears. You step back out into the air, and it all kind of settles in on you that this is the night. This is the last night you're gonna have, and as Trixie returns with her dire news of escape is likely more tenuous than you previously thought. Not impossible, just dangerous. There's a lot going on. And there's a lot that could happen. But you have
We're
until
supposed to be on the
daybreak.
world map, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted you here because I was moving
there
you
we
about
go.
the cabin. Yeah,
Oh,
thanks.
okay.
That's probably. Why didn't you guys say something sooner? You guys must have been really confused.
Well, there were
I heard-
there were tokens on the world map, so I thought
Yeah.
those were the ones you were referring to.
Yeah.
Well,
when you're talking
positionally at a
about
high
those-
level, yes. That is what you guys where you
You
guys
got
were.
us fucked up.
I was brave.
Mighty and brave Sir Robin.
This is why in person works for work. Okay. This could have been cleared up hours ago.
Assets, huh?
This session could have been an email. No, just kidding.
I mean, all sessions could technically be an email, but it's just a lot of writing on my part. And a lot less input from you. If I wanted shit from you, I'd squeeze your head.
Oh my god.
What?
good.
You never heard
You're
that?
not-
That's good. No. It's
That's
outstanding.
old. That's an old one. I don't use that often because I feel like everyone's heard it. You're all a bunch of shitheads, and you all deserve it. Anyway, last call.
You really
Position
do.
yourselves where you guys want to start. And I'm gonna let you guys know where you're gonna finish.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
gonna.
you're gonna let us finish.
So I want to find
Only if you're a good boy.
a good high tower or something that I could set up like an Overwatch position and kind of make a sniper's nest.
Well, that depends on where you want to overwatch. If you want to be on a wall making overwatch, or if you want to be in the city
I see.
within the walls. I mean. Sylvia, this is also your opportunity if you wish to lay those charges preemptively.
Yes.
Josh, I would also like for you to indicate a drawing or some sort of square of where you placed your. No, did you even do that?
No, we talked about it. It would take me too
Yeah,
long.
it took 24 hours, so you decided not to. Never mind.
Yep, correct.
Fuck you.
Hey.
He's not a hollow man.
Mm,
Hello.
Keep licking your lips. See what happens.
That's keep licking your lips, please, master.
Yes. I've been a good boy.
You've been a good robot with that voice.
Beep boop beep boop. bop, bop.
Meow.
You cold, heartless bitch. All right.
How do I change color?
Where's the siege equipment?
As
You're
you
gonna
run
make-
around town.
You're gonna make me mark the siege equipment? Just it's on the walls, dog. I don't know. It's somewhere in here.
Every one of these little dots, I guess.
Every one of those, they're
turrets.
fortification towers.
Towers.
I dig it.
Like-
Matt, just
Sprint
to
along the
make
wall.
sure that I
Oh, here we go.
remember. You said the bulk of the army was. Why is it not pinging? Up, kind of between the two top left centipede dudes. Like
The
here.
bulk of the army will likely come from that direction. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like where they're. Okay.
Whatever you say.
For,
Well, I mean that's like where they're massed right now because you were saying like they're like standing out there.
The worms are not. I'm backing up just a little bit because I just
No,
wanted to
no,
get
I'm talking
these
more about like
dramatic.
the foot forces and all that.
Yeah, they are
'Cause
mostly.
I
stationed
imagine
up
they're
here.
like visible, just standing.
They are
out.
visible mostly on the other side of this farmland area.
Okay, nowhere else, like not like up to the top right. or
Currently,
anything.
no.
Okay.
Currently, no.
Just wondering like what our current situation is. Okay.
is anyone gonna go to the other side of the city?
Actually,
defend?
I was
Or
thinking
yeah,
about
because
it.
we
Right
know,
road.
or at
Thinking
least
about
we,
coming down this way.
Like
we suspect their objective
gates.
is over
Yeah.
here. So
You guys could also attempt to relocate the assets,
Oh, is it
as it
movable?
were. You haven't tried,
Oh,
but it could be. Vulcan did attempt to fortify this area in the Moonheart, not seeing natural choke points with the rivers and such.
Arguably, I mean, an
Yeah.
extra final layer of defense would be to move it into the castle, but
Yeah. Well, so it
Castle
yeah,
does
we
have a second set of walls.
do that.
Would the castle be like a high point as well?
It would be, yes.
Okay.
Just put in the Sky Dancer and leave.
Retreat is always an option for you. I don't know why you guys keep thinking I'm gonna kill you. You guys can always leave and live with the consequences. I think a slow, painful death of your soul is much more gratifying anyway. The guilt will eat you raw. It'll raw dog you. There won't be no edging. It'll just like take you. And it'll fuck you.
if we're lucky,
If you're lucky. He's
So
gonna go in
I-
raw and wriggling.
Okay, so what I think might be a good idea is to kind of do like layers of defense to where the gates, you know, up here, it's just a matter of time till it falls, in my opinion. So do
Mhm.
that, kind of have set up fallback points.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
good
then
plan.
the question is, do they have a way to detect where the MacGuffin is? You think? Like, if we moved it to the castle, would they know?
Can we move it?
guys
We
have not
haven't tried,
Tried.
but it seems like it could be possible. Maybe something heroic could be done.
Potentially.
I'm going to give you what I think is a generous amount of time
Alright.
of 5 minutes to discuss this plan and finalize what you have.
So
But
quickly,
I do wanna keep
say
things
let there
moving,
be
so-
layers of defense and kind of fallback points.
Mhm.
And just kind of have it to where, okay, like this is fallen, fall back, and then regroup, sort of thing.
Right. And so to go along with that, I think at every like fallback point, I want to have like basically is where I'm going to be putting charges, so that
You want to reverse
Ooh.
9/11?
just so that it like basically closes off those points.
Yeah.
So like I can't really I've been trying to do like drawings, but basically if I can ping something, I was thinking, oh shit, I can't fucking.
Mr. President, we've hit them with another plane.
Um,
We've hit them with
Trying to-
another tower.
if you could see my line, I'm trying to put something there,
Uh-huh.
in here, and then I think there's another opening here. I can't quite see it.
under the
Yeah, by the E, but basically
4-minute
to put
warning.
charges at each point closest to the castle, so that we have retreats all the way back to the river, which I believe was fortified earlier. I think Vulcan was.
Yeah, as well as an escape route through the back.
Yeah.
the back
So,
walls.
but,
You're kind of like that path, Ed. Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about?
yeah. mhm.
Okay.
I will pause the timer to say this. Vulcan, an escape out the back would require destruction of the wall in mass if you wish to retreat. You yourselves have the Sky Dancer at any point to depart the area of Vlad with maybe a dozen others or so. But if you wish to, like, in mass, take a retreat and, like, create a secondary choke point or something like that, then you would have to blow up the wall, and Sylvia's charges may come in useful there. Sylvia's charges are utilitarian in that they could blow up the bridges. They could, if you use all of them, blow up the wall, you think. But otherwise, you would have to climb over the wall or drop down over the wall, thus slowing your retreat considerably. Because there is a wall down here.
Yeah, if we never got around to doing like a maintenance tunnel or digging or something, then yeah, we'll blow it up.
you think that it would take unless you committed time, effort, troops, and bodies to it, it would be a big ask to dig a tunnel all the way through of any size and engineering that wouldn't collapse and could actually sustain enough people to move through at speed.
Got it.
If you had but 20 more dwarves, you could do it in a fortnight.
Yeah, how are the
Oh, hey,
dwarves helping
hey.
us, by the way? I don't know if we ever confirmed that.
They were
helping us?
reinforcing the gates.
Okay. Okay. So that's actually a good question to bring up. Like, do we have like a retreat plan? Should they come all the way through? Like, is the
So-
castle going to be our retreat spot, or do we have
So
another place?
what we could do is Fosno's non-detection. If we might be able to hide the item from divination magic, then we might be able to move it and hide it somewhere.
I will pause again to interject. How long does non-detection last?
Let me check.
Is it concentration?
Both good
It is
questions.
not. Duration 8 hours. Let me. Can I, sorry, I'm trying to post it in the thing. I just need to find it. Too many spells. Oh, alright, there's a search. Did that work? Yes. There might be some fudginess depending on if it's an object or whatever, but
Oh,
I
well,
don't
we
know.
can burn that. We can burn that
yeah,
bridge.
I
if you
don't,
wish. Anyway,
I don't know if a
continue.
remnant of the dead god counts as a creature or an object for more than 10 feet. So,
Listen, we're in uncharted territory. I couldn't tell you either.
but point is might be able to do that. So if they know where it is, their forces go to the wrong place, and then we can bring it to a more fortified location.
Cunning ruse.
Have we confirmed that we can move it?
We should probably try.
I'll
'cause-
pause for that little interlude. How would you guys like to try moving it?
We make Samaville do it.
That's probably a good idea, honestly.
Not even here. What if
How
he
do I go
happens?
pick Bikini Bottom up and push it somewhere else? That's how heavy is this thing? Estimated? Does it look?
Oh, you know, about the weight of the sun.
Okay,
So-
girth.
so one person
wise,
could do
How
it.
much does the sun weigh?
What's the girth of this thing?
I cast Black Hole.
Our sun is a huge, massive planet Jupiter. What the fuck? The sun has a mass of 1.9891 times 10 to the 30th power kilograms, which equates to some mass of tons to the 27th power. So, 333,000, or no, I'm sorry, 333,000 times the weight of Earth.
Okay, so you're telling me that we have an actual sun here.
No, I'm saying I just did that for me. I didn't know how much the sun weighed, and I just wanted to know. So Samaville, in his infinite power, someone go ahead and roll an athletics check for him.
Anyone have his character sheet?
Nope.
I'm working
yet.
on it.
Oh, you got it,
Moving.
okay.
I'm going. Not my characters. I want my campaigns. Somebody feel free to race me.
I don't think anybody is.
Samaville.
View.
No, I end up on his profile.
No, athletics. You said.
I get it.
Dang it!
I win.
But I knocked you over.
But did you?
Did you?
I wish Daniel won.
Can we say he rages? No, I'm just kidding.
Good.
He would rage.
Oh yeah,
he
if he
raged.
does, if he rages. right?
He's like, "Oh, Glathander!"
Oh!
Yeah, that sounds like
Picks
him.
it up and runs like LT, just knocking dudes down left and right. Saberville with the spin move.
All of that unnecessary as it lifts to his touch.
Oh, whoa!
He's worthy.
That's a lot of puns in his arms.
The arcing magic or divine magic across his gauntlets in his hands and his forearms intensifies brightly. He says, "It's hot! It's hot!" But he can otherwise hold it.
Okay.
All right, are we playing like a kind of a fancy capture the flag kind of situation where we're just defending him this whole time?
I don't know.
Is this
I mean,
what's
it may
happening?
come to that, but
Okay.
The clock resumes. You have 2 minutes remaining.
Fuck.
Uh,
Okay,
Okay.
well, he can move it, so we can have that as a plan to have him go and move stuff. If they breach the walls, we can move it to a...
He has one job.
sure,
His
and,
one job,
yeah,
carry the
Foz
sun.
will
Got it.
Pass the
cast
sun.
non-detection on it.
Oh god.
I've marked it off.
Okay, and what's the escape path for it? Are we going to be putting it on the river to get out of here? Like, what are we doing?
That's a good question. We could put it in the castle for now. So assuming we cloak it here,
Oh,
we
okay.
could put it in the castle so it's well defended, and then
Okay.
have the Skydancer on standby to fly it out if things go really, really bad.
Along with us?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. yeah.
Everyone
Go
roll
with that.
an intelligence check right now.
Okay.
Everybody,
Everybody.
you should intelligence.
Straight intelligence.
For Foz, I guess, but
Yeah.
It's so
not
bad.
a save, just intelligence.
Whoa,
Okay.
Someone rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Goddamn, I'm dumbass.
Oh, and I guess I should.
Oh wow.
We're doing great.
Everyone, except for, everyone's like, castle, castle, yes, castle, castle. Wolf, you're the only one that has a sudden doubt about it, given the proximity of the armies
hmm
and their main entry point. The castle, while easier to defend, is closer to course.
Closer
And
to
is also-
sorry, closer to what? You broke up a little.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I'll direct your attention to the north, where all of your cultists are gathering. The castle is closer aboard to the north.
Mhm.
Additionally, you particularly fear the potential for being trapped in the castle. It can be garrisoned, it can be defended, it has a second set of walls. However, it is in the middle of the city. If there was any sort of fighting to be done across a distance across the city, or if the goal was to drag it out as long as possible on a path. It's unclear whether they would go straight for the temple or the castle, but the castle is still also a target, right?
Mhm.
And to hold up in the castle would likely mean, if they breach the walls, to be surrounded.
You could always maybe try the Moonheart knot. That could be a more defensible. Take down the bridges.
You could also defend yourself in the castle.
Or
But-
we could just hide in the sewers.
I'm sure they'll never look there. A minute 30.
But
So...
So-
I like the
Time to
idea
make your
of
decisions.
using-
yeah, we
Of
could do
using
Moonheart
Moonheart-
knot, and then if things
Moonheart
go
knot.
bad, we could take down each of the bridges, and then it's at least slightly more defensible.
Yeah,
I mean, we're still kind of trapped in, but
We could P4 the walls at that point too, and then
to escape to the south.
yeah.
Okay, then I won't be using. Well, maybe I'll use. Do I have to use all three of them to break through this wall, or can I use like one of them?
Let me correct myself here. Or you, because I know I'm doing a poor job explaining it.
Yeah.
Each charge has 3 vials.
Okay.
Single charge, 3 vials. Roll a d12.
I will roll a d12.
You have 11 charges, 3 vials each.
Whoa.
All 11 would be required, you surmise, to... You wouldn't want to risk not blowing up the wall if you wanted to make that your escape route. So
When you say the wall, you're talking about like the wall that circles the city, correct? Not like
the
knocking
city
a
wall.
building
The
down,
city wall
right?
is dozens of feet high,
Yeah.
multiple feet thick. Like this thing is meant to last a siege. If you wanted to blow the thing up, it will not just be a Saruman rock oyster filled with rocks.
Yeah, no, my question is when you say the wall, you're talking about the wall that circles the city, correct?
And I am also assuming you guys are talking about Moonheart Knot, and the only time we were talking about bull here, unless I'm
Yeah, well,
mistaken.
I just know that Ed was also talking about like toppling some buildings earlier.
Yeah, on the way. But if it
And so I
requires, if it requires all of them, then I can't do that. I'll have to hold them off for an eventual exit if the plan is to
Yeah.
hold out as long as we can.
It's almost like you have to pick and choose.
Yeah. So
You certainly
and-
could deploy them throughout the city, and they will be used to great effect. However,
Mhm.
if you want to do something as extreme as blow up the city wall and create a secondary exit for yourself, you surmise that would be required.
Your call, Ed. I just was wondering that. Thank you
Yeah.
for clarifying.
Okay. And there's no way to know if like one or the other will hold out for more time. So it's like, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. One last minute. Go.
Fuck.
Decision time.
I mean, sounds like we've come to a decision.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then say it out loud. What are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, that, and then we
Walk
could
me
just
through it.
layer defenses like that, and kind of make it seem like the temple and the castle are being defended, and then kind of have the last layers of defenses like that.
And I will hold off on using the charges, and instead position myself at the castle and fall back as needed as the armies come through, holding charges for an eventual secondary escape should we need it.
Okay, sounds good. Then, did the timer go away for everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
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 What a wonderful module. Where would you like to position Koss?
Outside the wolf dress gate, he's gonna hold
I
them
know,
all himself.
I feel like you would want to be out of the gate.
Now, do never forget that you can always sortie out of the gate and into the wilds as needed. However, you can place. Going outside the Wolfcrest gate's gonna be crazy, dog.
Yeah.
Because like then we're in the streets, we're fighting, building the building.
The sun shines, grass grows, and me,
Me?
I hurt people.
I hurt people.
If you came from where I came, you'd be dead.
All right. He longs for the front lines, but where would you like to place him? Where do you think he would be best utilized?
I feel like he best be utilizing the front lines.
I know. I was gonna say, I'm like,
Just
he's
put
one of
him
the
here.
best on
I
the front
would
line.
say
Here?
he might be at home, at least
Here?
on the wall.
Send him to the sewers.
Like,
Send him to the
Long
back
for the
lines.
mines.
Long
He'll
for
be
the
our last line
brine.
of defense.
yeah, kind of maybe stationed on.
Is anyone
One on
gonna-
here?
It's kind of the vanguard sort of area, and just
might want to support Trixie? Somebody.
yeah.
Okay.
So
It's covered by
I-
an E, but there is also a gate here.
Oh, there is.
Okay.
Okay, that is important to know.
If you wish him to hold a gate, if you want to position yourself something like that,
Let's see. Would I be able to? Oh fuck.
would you be able to fuck? Yes, you could.
I would.
One of
Would I
the
be able to cover
I
Trixie
have, I
from
will.
the castle position, or would I need to get closer?
I would say you need to get closer. You could have a large view, but more likely like Gragnash, will have the Overwatch position as far as like his imps are watching, and can direct as needed.
Okay.
But he's got like main Overwatch position if you wanted to move forward.
And where is he?
He's in the castle.
Oh, he's in the castle. Okay.
Assume that everything is coordinating from the castle.
Okay. Well, then I'll be in between the castle and Trixie's position because I know there's a possibility of things coming from the east. So that I can cover Trixie and then still be at a fallback point.
Excellent.
But high enough so where I could see what's happening at the gates as well.
Very good.
All right. For me, ideally, no, I don't want to open my character sheet. Ideally, I'd like to, if there's like a high tower, kind of within this, come on, ping please, sort of area, something that I could kind of watch the streets of both the kind of two northern gates.
Okay.
With the intention of kind of as they start to fall back to provide cover.
Got it.
And just kind of keep informed and sort of rotate to where I might be needed, but kind of playing support.
As you wish.
Yeah, Zoom's
Oh.
doing something similar, but in a more forward position. He'll place himself between these two gates and move to whichever one needs more support.
Excellent.
And we still have Sam as a kind of a crux for the temple, right?
For
Become
for
back.
Trixie and what she's doing, she's gonna try to funnel everyone down this way towards the water. I don't know if anyone can see that, but down towards
Yeah.
the water.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna block off this gate up here. We're gonna fend this gate as much as possible, and then try to send them either back this way towards the water, so they have to go around, or down this way, and then they're pretty much locked in as we pick them off. Or they have to swim up the river, which will be set to have people on these edges here.
Okay. Sounds good. I will add to that as well that there are garrisons. White is such a bad color. Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know
couldn't
why.
change the color. I don't know why. I have white like all over.
Oh,
Oh, I
that
found
was-
it. I found
You
where I
have to
can change
configure
the color.
drawing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There are garrisons positioned here, and here to
Okay.
defend either side of the river, because that is truly the last points, right? They're not behind the walls, but they can defend the river well.
Okay.
I should say also here, there's a crossing there as well, but they are heavily garrisoned, but not fortified positions. If you catch my meaning.
Yeah.
They can hold out for some time, given that it's natural defensive positions, and whatever has to come across either comes across by bridge or by wading across the water. But just keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
saying.
then-
I wanted to set like if anything were to breach the gates at any point, we set just these breakneck points here and here, as just in case they come up. We do have some type of fallback, so that we can get to these points to defend them.
Also, don't forget the citizens are fleeing in this direction.
Sorry.
Which direction?
Red arrow, lower
Oh,
right.
okay.
Oh,
All
sorry,
citizens are
okay.
fleeing in that direction. So, all right, you guys ready?
Ready, Freddy.
yeah. We'll see.
As you guys watch and wait. Sorry. Does anybody do anything to keep morale high? Or do you guys all just sweat it out?
Trixie standing there nervously with her people, and she's just saying, she's like, Loom, gonna kill some bad guys. Loom, gonna kill some too.
Take inspiration if you don't have it already.
You too.
Question: do we see
I'll
like,
refill it.
coming from the Wolf Crest Gate? Do we see like swarms, like thousands of them pushing our way?
Not the second. Let's say it's the that's a good sword moment. Like this is everyone is just kind of positioned over and watching, waiting.
Commiserating.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Say I won't go. Say it ain't so. I will not go. I've heard the song recently. You see it in the garrison on the walls. Armored soldiers, rangers decorated in their leathers, longbows at the ready. Everyone is at a standing rest, just waiting. All breath held as the screams continue, unnaturally so, carried on a wind that doesn't exist. It's the last breath before the plunge, like literally just waiting for it to start. You see legs bouncing, people shifting, the clack of armor, and the waiting. The waiting's the worst part. To answer your question, I've forgotten what it was. So
It was mostly just if like, do we see?
you see thousands. You see mostly fires in the darkness, and hear the shrieks of hundreds of voices. You know that there are thousands.
Okay.
And that almost makes it worse because you know they're out there, but you can't see them. And that when the screaming stops, the demons come.
Did you say it was nighttime?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Oh, almost got a good pick of Matt. That was frozen.
Say,
Want to go pick?
Shark free stream.
Oh, how about this?
You got two.
You got two.
Double do.
Double. Anyway, it starts to set in for you all as well. Retreat for you is simply getting to the ship. The stakes are high, but there's so many people, thousands still left, leaving the city. And some who are stubborn enough to, I'm not going, I'm gonna stay. Those people are still within the walls as well. This has been my home for hundreds of generations. I'm not going anywhere. Foolhardy. Loyal but foolhardy.
It's about dragging in these pots for 1,000 years.
Yes. The War Council thinks they can that they can hold out for many moons. You are all not convinced. You think everything will be something in your gut tells you it'll be settled in a matter of days, one way or another. To lose the river means to lose your only chance of escape, or the only chance that citizens would have to escape, or any soldiers. To defend the walls is one thing. To defend the entire river is entirely another. The unrest continues, and dawn comes. And as I said at the end of last session, the screaming stops. The horns doth blow, and the grass doth grow. But these centipede creatures erupt from the earth at the bugling horns of the oncoming armies. And in the oncoming light, Bud, you do see thousands and thousands of troops. But would erupt from the tunnels surrounding actors. These guys. Hey-ah! You see these
Oh,
Roaches.
crawling
oh God.
on all fours, like they're scrabbling in the dirt, running as fast as they can, elongated, moving with claw and foot.
They're like Hydralisk zealots.
Yeah, that's accurate.
I actually like thinking of them of this as like Sangili, who are like unarmored, like medieval elites from Halo, like
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I'm like,
without
I
helmets.
see that.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I use the
yeah.
I use their literal term. Like the elites from Halo without guns, like they're armored, they're carapaced, they have these like cruel long claws. For you, Sylvia, you see them and you immediately think of those things that were moving invisibly through the brush. It's unclear whether they themselves can go invisible or something was making them invisible. But they come in droves. Interject at any point, because I want this to be a narrative like cool. I want you guys to feel cool in this, and I will ramble on and on and on.
Just ignore those. That's just Foz's portents in case it comes up, and we have to do stuff with Skydancer.
Fair enough. The Skydancer is currently docked in the Great Sprawl.
Okay, so that's accurate. Yeah.
Yes, you can lower ladders from the Skydancer, should you wish it to hover anywhere. But know that it's there. Know that it's available. As well as the two other skyships, but you can direct them as you wish. Right. So as you see, and I've added a third one off to the right here, as these tunnelers erupt from the earth, and these creatures start sprawling and crawling out of tunnels and moving at speed across this great distance. They don't relent, they don't tire, and they move quickly directly at the walls. The trebuchets begin firing, and as they come within range, arrows begin raining down amongst their ranks as well. For those of you, I would say Bud costs less so tricksy in this instance, but you see arrows rain down on them. Some find purchase when they land true. Others bounce off of their natural armor that they have around their shoulders and necks. But it doesn't slow their advance. I'll pause. Does anyone wish to interject?
Yeah, I will.
Go ahead.
As archers are firing and the non-archer individuals here standing along the wall getting ready for them to ultimately run up these stone walls, I'll give a little brief speech to those who can hear me. I will, with a deafening roar, let out, "Hold your ground! Hold your ground, sons of Wilter, of Ryland, my brothers. I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of all of you fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of sin-born and shattered shields, when the age of the free people come crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight. By all you hold dear on this good Odasses. I bid you stand, men of Wiltir."
You hear a roar. As he downs his drink, I love that. You hear a roar from those surrounding. Grant yourself inspiration.
Wow.
Thank you, sir.
For Umlau.
Who doesn't have inspiration?
Is your heroic
Brandon
inspiration
used
spent?
his.
I was always
I have
inspired.
spent my heroic inspiration.
Gain your heroic inspiration back.
Oh.
If we're at the point of archers on a wall shooting, I assume the siege weapons are in full effect then.
Yes.
They are, but as I said, you can always walk it back if there's anything you wish to do. No?
Loose.
Loose. All right, let's. Let me find the appropriate page on my notes. I've never actually run one of these sessions. It's harder than it looks. Or sounds. Okay. The trebuchets begin firing, well-oiled and well-engineered with Vulcan's assistance. They land amongst the hordes, and unlike the arrows that bounce off their armor, there is no protection from the stone and mortar that is being placed in these trebuchets as ammo. They crush and roll and move through the crowds, killing dozens in their wake. However, they move on. You begin seeing larger creatures coming out of these tunnels, and from the surrounding trees, armored figures and floating creatures start moving out from the tree line. The tree line is now burning. The farms on the northern side of Quiltier are burning. Smoke begins rising. And amongst these things, winged creatures start flying out of the tunnels in waves. Let's show you some of them.
Oh boy.
Yay.
We'll start with... There are plenty. Let me know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's
Many
Not cool,
eyes.
Matt. Not cool.
So they're
That's
flying,
pretty darn cool.
I assume.
I happen to think they're very cool.
Look at their limited weak points.
It's almost like I had a
Exactly.
type.
Matt was like, I like dinosaurs.
I do like dinosaurs. How do you know that? You see these?
Matt,
Moving.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were a Zerg player in StarCraft.
I am a Zerg player in StarCraft. How do you know that? They're the
We should
best.
do this war thing. We should just have James do the
We're
StarCraft.
just doing StarCraft.
Hey, hey, Matt, another thing, was one of your favorite movies Starship Troopers? Is that where you're getting some of this inspiration from?
To my chagrin, I have never actually seen it all the way through. I've bookended it with a middle bit where the guy dies, the captain commander dies. But I have
Just
played
one.
Helldivers, so you know.
Nice. Nice.
You could attribute to Wreck-It Ralph too. I'll give you that as
I've
well.
never seen it. I'll be honest.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know. I know it's like, you know, the Ready Player One of our time, but
Well, I've never seen Ready Player One, so it's okay.
That's okay, I haven't either.
Kind of nothing like the book anyway, so.
The
So you see-
movie ruined me reading the book.
So you see those three things: those the airborne creatures, the foot soldiers, and those scythe bugs crawling forward at speed. You also see mixed among the crowd these humanoid, not humanoid, but bipedal, larger lumbering creatures that some of you have seen before.
Those are the frost giants. Oh, never mind.
God.
Goodness, what the hell? What have
I'm
centipede
trying to
for-
count
for
how many
arms?
mouths this thing has, and it's very confusing. Are the head tentacles? Do those have mouths?
Horrors beyond comprehension.
Inspiration of the first person who isn't Tyler, who can tell me what this is.
Uh,
Is this the
Tyler,
one
where
shot?
are you?
The Grinch.
Is this the
I
Grinch?
have no idea.
I have never seen this before in my life, so I have no idea.
I have no memory of this.
It looks like an arachnid centipede.
Well,
Actually, this is my 13th reason why.
Is it a scourge?
this is the one. It is a scourge.
Oh.
Oh.
It is a scourge. Do you remember what the scourge were known for?
That I don't.
I would like Bud, Koss, Zoom, and Wolken to roll a history check.
History.
Well, they're actually quite good overall. It's dumb for Koss to roll because it became part of his backstory, but these scourges, with their centipede-like appendages, are capable of creating thralls out of the dead, and those they kill and consume.
So much fun.
Oh. Was this Josh's egg thing?
No,
Oh no.
no. This
Oh,
was
no, that was-
you met one at the top of the lighthouse in Ansagon
Oh, okay.
as a half dozen cultists sacrificed themselves to summon a creature beyond comprehension that was so dangerous that even Koss told you to flee immediately. And they number in the dozens, in the hundreds amongst this army.
Well, dozens or hundreds?
And hundreds.
Okie doke.
I'm so startled right now, guys. I'm so startled.
All right. Is there anything you want? The wave crashes upon the walls.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
I already gave out that inspiration. You're gonna take the tentative one until I feel a good one. All right, I'm gonna start moving these guys out. Don't fret too much about the size or the number. More an indication of just like that this is the type of creature
Oh, great.
and where they're largely located. Speak, or forever hold your peace.
We kill him.
Yeah. From my position over here, since it's just me and Trixie, and I have Ranger General potential powers, for whatever archers I have on the walls, I'd like to command them to fire at movement in the forest to see if we could deter this crowd of creatures from entering this area, and try to funnel them to a more manageable location away from the troops. So away from the groups.
What I would say in this case is the forests are outside the map. They've come into open field, and
These are open field. Okay.
These are open field. There are no trees here because they've largely been used for building, wood cutting. They've been hemmed back to the point where this is a city, right?
Okay.
They need wood aplenty. They're moving through an open field trying to reach the city.
All right. Yeah. So then, just given that, then fire at will of movement, since they are somewhat invisible. It's hard to tell where they are, but they are definitely especially menacing in look. I'll command them to start firing at distance to see if we could do the same thing.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception check, actually.
Okay. $24.
24. You tried to pick out as like arrows fall amongst them. You see none that you see no arrows like falling into like invisible entities and like things appearing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You assume that everything is visible to your eye, and the longer you watch, you're kind of like, okay, there's nothing invisible out there. But as you do watch, God, I'm like trying to like multitask so hard. View character. You notice that their chitinous armor seems to like encompass almost like pauldrons. Like, unless you hit them in the head directly, they seem to power through the volleys of arrows. Like, fewer are falling than you would hope or that you would like.
Okay.
The ones that do fall immediately and don't get up. As soon as an arrow touches, they seem to fall. I'll show that again just in case anybody close it. See what I'm talking about.
So some of them fall, but most of them power through it, basically.
Essentially.
Okay.
Not to say that the arrows aren't effective. It's like, but the random volleys of that are falling on them, they are armored, and the arrows don't seem to punch through like they would for plate or chain. I don't have actual. Was there anything you wish to do in an attempt to like direct them in a direction? You mentioned like your arrows falling on an area.
Yeah. Shoot.
I'll delete this. Go ahead and just like, you could, if you wish, draw an area for me.
It keeps showing. Can you see that? Can you see the square? Or
Yeah.
not? Oh, cool.
If you go down to, in that drawing tool, if you go down to the gear,
Yeah.
second from the bottom, that you can change the color there.
What a
Yeah,
squeal!
I've been trying to. It's not
Really?
doing
You
it.
have to hit like reset configuration or something, or
Configure default. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Here,
like the save button.
Yeah,
That's
it's a little
tough.
silly.
Okay, it's still not doing it. But anyway, but basically, I'd like to deter them away from the river, since that is kind of our goal. To push them away from the river. So if there's
Yeah.
like a way to
You
like
look at me when
target
you're
that
talking to
area
me!
specifically with more, and kind of funnel them in a position where our strengths are.
That makes
Kind
sense.
of the goal.
That makes sense. And you do so. And for you, Trixie, it does, in a way, start moving them in a direction. I'll say, like, nope, that's not it. Token, this guy. We'll say, like, it starts moving them down into the housings of the Bright Road and such.
And we're just like tower defensing this whole area. Just
At this point, yes.
Yeah, just laying just arrows as much as we can as they just kind of are funneled our way.
Right. And you guys are well equipped for a long siege, so arrows are not, and ammunition are not a concern here. As the front line of foot soldiers approaches, you see them leap. Like, as they start approaching buildings and things, you see them start, like, rather than like, you see them start leaping toward the buildings, and they like punch into surfaces with their like long bone-like protrusions on their arms. Like they climb buildings, and they're sort of like leaping from building to building, clambering over. As you guys watch, you see no sign of like siege tower or ladder or anything like that, which to you makes the assumption that like they can climb the walls by themselves.
Are the flying creatures doing anything?
They will be approaching verily, but
Okay. So in that case, Wolf will kind of direct his fire to protect the siege engines, or like the trebuchets and stuff. So as dudes like start to get over the walls, pop them
an excellent idea.
to protect like the trebuchets and the ballista or crossbows to a lesser extent, mainly the trebuchets.
No, it makes total sense. Does anybody
And then
else wish to do
the-
anything?
Yeah, and then once the flyers close in, I'll probably focus on those until the front starts to retreat.
Zoom can also rage, and he can get wings when he does so. And once there's like flyers within reasonable distance, he'll like rage and become like basically a front line in the air sort of thing.
That's cool.
That is cool, and actually will probably be very useful here soon.
Just frontline in the air. That's pretty cool. Suck.
And you assume that it's going to be useful here soon because there is a area of wall here that has no gates but is primed for flight to approach.
Yeah, so we'll say Zoom probably just like makes his way like that direction, like cutting a swath through as he goes, sort of thing.
That's perfect. Yeah, I think that's super cool. Okay, so that's sort of like the situation we're looking at currently, right? Things are starting to move toward the walls to the point where like the foot soldiers start like they start punching into the stone and they're climbing. It's a slow climb because they don't have like tactile insect fingers where they can like stick to it, but they're like punching into the walls and like creating footholds for those behind. The soldiers shoot arrows and rain arrows down on them and like pour pitch. The mages are now activated because they're within range. Things escalate. Does anybody wish to do anything immediate?
No one's actually breached the walls yet, right? They're just in front, slash on top.
You're talking about the initial like just crush.
Yeah.
I'm sort of just kind of feeling out how this works, so we'll adapt as we go. But
Question: how big are these like flying things?
medium to small creatures, like they are, in this case, are enlarged just to show that there are a focus of them, not so much that they are large creatures. But unless there's anything you guys wish to do, they start breaching over the wall, and the foot soldiers engage. Spear and sword are drawn, and these creatures are largely just like claw and tooth monsters. All they do is attempt to bite at jugulars or punch through straight plate mail, which they are inelegant fighters. They just literally will like pierce armor and just open. They're more focused on the death and pain of the combat more than anything else. And they die in droves. The frontliners, as you rotate, your claws slice through them like butter. Their armor, nothing to your claws. But your divine magic immolates them from within. Koss smashes them across the cobblestone and the walls. They aren't meant to be tough to fight, but their numbers mean more than anything else, and their ability to punch through high armor more than anything. The soldiers of Wiltir are ill prepared for just like the onslaught of death and destruction that these things are bringing upon, but they still hold. Vulcan, your hammer smashes through their, well, he's not here, but their shoulder armor without issue. And as the flyers approach,
I start
as a reminder,
blasting.
you start blasting. While their carapaces are strong, their wings are weak. Mere membranes to hold their heavy bodies aloft. rather than doing flyby tactics, they are mostly airborne just to be in position, to get behind positions,
Okay.
like the trebuchets, like the crossbows, like getting down into the reserve forces and causing chaos. And they do so, particularly in this direction, where they drop immediately down into these buildings. Here they meet Samaville to great effect, whose radiant gauntlets crackle with energy as he punches through these things, and his hands arc with lightning, hitherto unseen before. And your team at this moment.
Sorry, what was that?
Any response from the team at this moment? Or do we just want to let things develop?
Yeah, no, as those things are, as they just effortlessly come over the walls, I want to take a prime interest in specifically ones that are like aiming towards our little sun here, and just make sure to deter them as much as possible with just precision strikes between the armor plates they have. If it draws attention to myself, okay, as long as it's drawing attention away from that potential target.
Okay. Now, sorry, I didn't move the sun because that's my entire bad. Where did you guys want Samaville to move the erstwhile god?
I know we had talked about kind of doing a last stand at the Moonheart Knot. I don't know if we landed on that's where it is currently.
Yeah.
Now's the time to decide.
Yeah, let's put it there.
Castle or Moonheart?
Moonheart. That gets my vote at least.
Castle is
less
borked.
Do you garrison the Moonheart, or do you prefer that? Sorry, two questions. Does Foz, Jesus Christ, does Foz do non-detection? Was the first thing.
Yeah. So yeah, we could put Foz there and then have the Skydancer like on standby, because I imagine with all the flyers, it wouldn't be flying at the moment, so have it kind of parked somewhat.
How long has the combat been going on at this point?
We would say like with their approach and with the them starting to climb the walls, we're talking like hours, not like two hours, something like that.
It's a long time still.
Oh, I thought it was just 6 seconds since we all just took one turn.
You can take more if you want.
I'm joking.
It's a lot of war to happen already.
Foz, you in particular, with the advent of these flying combatants, the Skydancer is not as safe as you thought it might be.
Yep.
It having to take evasive action could entirely be possible, depending on how deep the flyers go.
How many are there flyers? How many total do we think?
As far as like flyers go, you would assume that they are a quarter of the amount of foot soldiers. However, there's swarms of them. So,
do we see any of the kind of fleshy, floaty balloon things that we saw in the
good
scout
question.
earlier?
You actually don't. You don't.
None of the overlords.
Yeah, that's
No.
exactly how I pictured them.
I
know,
literally, I pictured them that way too, because they're called chained overlords in my notes here.
So they are.
Yeah, so they, well, I mean, with more
Sort of.
functionality, they're more useful.
Yeah.
But they're completely different. They've got eyes all over them.
But they are still useful.
You know, like the overlords.
They provide supply. You can transport. They're actually.
You can construct additional troops because you got them. Like,
Yeah.
they push out creep.
Zerg
Anyway.
players.
It was harder, and for some reason, that's what I liked.
No.
I sucked at it. That's why I stopped playing.
I enjoy constructing additional pylons. Okay.
You must construct additional.
I like being the monster.
My life for hire.
The flood.
I liked being the flood.
I almost think it's just worth dedicating, like, most of our mages to taking out flyers. Like, if they're swarms.
Oh
like,
yeah, I see
fireball
that.
will be a
Just fireball in them.
blast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like, because honestly, the thing that's gonna like cause chaos most is if we have to start abandoning the post to start like
Yeah.
going into the city and
Falling
doing
back
stuff
already.
Like,
We could
we can't do
load
that.
up
We're only 2
the
hours into the
two
fight.
other. We had the 2 other airships, right?
You do.
Where are they?
We could load those up with mages and a contingent of
Of archers as well.
our archers and maybe nah, foot soldiers will be useful elsewhere. So archers and mages and just kind of circle and act as a screening force, kind of.
Yeah.
Come on, no, measure tool, please. There.
like we don't
here.
go too far out with the airships and with the mages, but we just have them focus solely on flying enemies that are breaching over the walls.
Yeah, kind of focus in this general area.
Yeah.
No, I want to move it. Let me click on it.
What are you trying to click?
Sorry, and I'm trying to move my drawing, but kind of
Oh,
the
got
big
it.
general circle.
I don't have additional airships available, so they're copies of the Skydancer. But where
That's
would you
fine,
want them?
Kind of in this general
Here
area, like doing.
and so what you're essentially creating is like
Yeah,
high
in a
points for
Delta
like, the
formation.
high tower you wanted, essentially.
Yeah.
Does anybody wish to board
essentially
these?
just kind of have them doing like circular patrols and taking out the flying units to screen the ground forces and keep them from getting descended upon.
That makes
To
sense.
try to establish air superiority.
Mhm. Oh,
Hmm.
actual tactics.
What?
What are we,
And
nerds?
then we're gonna befriend the Fremen, and then we'll have desert power.
Well,
boy.
nobody said that. Who is going to be able to Gib?
Isn't like a
Foz is like, oh, he is the chosen one.
Fuzz would be that guy. I do actually like my headcanon. What's that actor's name?
Foz is Stilgar. What
So-
is it?
Yeah,
dude,
totally. I know
Javier.
Javier Bardem? I think
Yeah.
James just said that.
Yeah,
Ross said it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
that's Fuzz. That's Fuzz in my. That's always been Fuzz in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, Foz is pretty much just Stilgar, now that I think about it, but it wasn't really an inspiration when I made the character, but
Well, it is
it
now.
ended up being that way.
Okay. Do any of the player characters wish to board these ancillary ships as support?
I do actually, and I'd like to do it in like a very Batman way, and just kind of like use an arrow and just grappling hook basically with an arrow
Oh,
and like
fuck yeah.
launch myself onto it.
Roll an acrobatics check with advantage. 'cause I love
hold
it.
on.
Let's see. You said acrobatics?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why it rolled that many times.
I'll take the 30 because that was the first one.
Okay. Okay.
Without issue. These ships are transport ships, and for whatever reason, that's too much detail. Your arrow pierces immediately. There's no issue as you just like swing forth and grab hold, arrow fin style, some sort of ladder, and you're just like swinging away as this airship in its momentum in a turn. Now it gets to pick you up, and you are aboard this one.
I'll land 3-point stance, and to any onlookers, just
We'll say with the
What you
20,
looking at?
the rope like goes. You go so far up, it goes wraps around a mast, like one of the horizontal bits of a mast, and you come down in the 3-point with a hair flip and an arrow knocked. You're like, you say,
oh, what you looking at? Very tracer style. And I'm gonna start just firing away 3 arrows at a time.
Nice.
Who has
And,
heroic inspiration left?
I do.
Vulcan does.
Technically, I do. Yes, I do too.
And technically Cost does as well. If you want to fire 3 at a time, I'll say use your heroic inspiration for that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Fuck yeah. All right. We'll say it like reduces the number, like the pressure on this side. Your airship in particular has to linger in this area, given the lack of ground troops, and the not lack of ground troops, but the lack of like ground presence, and just like the flyers are just moving immediately over the wall here. All right, to move things along, Koss and Bud find themselves sort of like they find that as the pressure mounts and as things climb over the wall, they just find themselves together. And he's like, Koss is like, "Oh, this is like old times, mate."
I'm glad to be back.
"Oh, you never left, and I'm glad you're back as well." These creatures, as like they pounce, I imagine them as what James imagines his new Elden Ring character to be, like all punch and like and very nimble creatures. They're very in your face, trying to just like pierce your face and bite your neck as much as possible. The combat is yes. What I hope he does to Jake Paul doesn't even amount to half of what this might actually be.
Anyway, carry on.
And so I shall. But the Mike Tyson doesn't quite make it. As like you, what weapon are you using currently? Are you using a warhammer? You're using a hammer,
Yeah.
right?
Warhammer, yeah.
With every strike of your hammer, you just crush their armor. You just as they just like immediately die under the pressure of the assault you're giving them. You carve a swath between these two gates. The soldiers themselves are holding their ground, but struggle to kill the amount that you're able to. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Their mundane weapons seem to struggle overall. And numbers alone seem to be keeping the enemy at bay. Numbers and speed. And just like the ability to defend atop a wall. Pikes are usually jabbed like this over the top of the wall. But as things start to your direction is mostly placed when things start to spill over the walls, and you have to like drive them back down. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Vulcan, you find yourself amongst a crush of dwarves. And Warforge.
Top the wall.
Atop the wall. The group of dwarves that you've found, or have found you, have managed to be the rallying center for a sort of cultural shift. When you directed these dwarves to reinforce the gates, other dwarves, nosy as they are, wanted to provide their opinion, and guess what? Now they're here. Warforged, being either half dwarven or also schooled in the arts of smithy, also wanted to provide their opinion. And now you have just like this side of the wall, a sort of Helgrin, mini Helgrin, here, and you find yourself in a strangely familiar, but it's been many years since you found yourself amongst your own kin. Do you yourself find dwarves to be kin, or just the Warforged?
Heavily more Warforged, but I'm still good
Well,
with dwarves.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course, a dwarf, of course.
yeah. I was trained by dwarves.
You're built by dwarves, dwarven make. And here in this moment, you fail to see the civil war or tension that a dwarf and a warforged could have, because here with iron, with rock, with stone, it's irrelevant. With many a dwarf with their hammer in hand and a skull to crush, it's almost a joyous and jubilant occasion at this. You have less ability to defend against the flyers than others, so a skyship coming to your aid is a welcome addition. However, you have the ground forces well in hand. Wolf, I ask you, your high point comes with the yeek. Does it move all together? All together now. As the skyship with Sylvia comes careening across this direction. Do you wish to say where you are and defend the middle point between? You've had plenty to shoot at here. As you see little bursts of poof, 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 poof of yellowish divine magic between the two gates. As you can, with your keen eyes, you can see Koss and Bud holding their own amongst the foot soldiers. You still have an opportunity to either maneuver or continue to provide support here.
Yeah, just because it would be cool if it's like flying by and the ladder's down, I'll like jump up and fly around, like shooting my crossbow off of it while hanging on a ladder, just for cool factor.
Just for laughs. Roll an acrobatics check with advantage. So.
All right.
It's like your arrow flail.
Your bees simply lift you, and like it just like
Magneto,
it's all you're shooting, and you don't even really feel it. You're just your bees just sort of direct you onward, and you just continue as you realize you're like, I'm airborne. You see a ladder come swing into view, and you grab hold of it, and you just continue to shoot.
Okay. Continue to shoot, climb my way up, look up, find Sylvia, and be like, how goes the Eastern Front?
Terrible.
Speaking of the Eastern Front, Trixie, are you with me?
I'm here.
You're here. I would like to direct your attention to this box where Sylvia has directed as Ranger General to create a kill box for her arrows to fly and for the General Rangers to direct traffic in your direction. According to your plan, what would you like to do?
Sorry, which box is it again? Is it this one?
This one.
It's white.
Yeah, that one right there.
Very good. I had just missed where you did.
Can I do it? I don't know.
I can see it just fine. I just didn't see which box you marked. All right. As they're funneling down here, yeah, we just keep with the tower defense point as they're coming down. We're just raining ammo upon these guys as they're funneling down.
Okay. And they do, and despite their armor, they die in droves. Their bodies piling the main stretch of Bright Road. They start, as the bodies continue to pile up, they start diverting themselves. Oh, I should have done them as one line. Hang on. In this direction. As the kill box goes on for longer, they start wrapping around in this direction, further up. They start just circumventing and start going toward the river directly. What would you like to prioritize?
So they start going to the river directly?
So some, as they try to avoid the kill box, start moving toward the river to wade across instead. Some. Sorry, I broke up. I had some internet issue. So some go up here,
Very fast.
some go down here, some go over here. But they start diverting the path and start climbing across rooftops. It's slower going. As the bodies pile up on the bright road.
I have some of the archers that we have throughout the city reposition to if they're gonna wade. If they're gonna wade through the water and just make it easier for us to really just shoot them fish in a barrel style, I'll take it. So
unfortunately, I would say from your position on the wall, you can't reach. Your arrows will not reach the river per se.
Not us, but if they funnel towards the river and then have to come back up this way, it's going to take them a long time. So if we can reposition them to go, just like I have this arrow right here, is it gonna? Now it doesn't want to ping for me. Cool. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Look, I have this arrow here. As we funnel them, because like I said, this one funnels them this way. We reposition to funnel them back out towards that way.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah, it just makes it harder for them to get.
Draw a box for me where you would like most of your arrows to land. Like you and some others. So as you look around, the scouts that you saved and their contingent are with you. They've positioned themselves with you because they're more or less loyal to you.
Sweet. As we reposition, we want to set a box probably around like this area.
Okay.
You see, yeah.
Preventing their so either staying at the gate and preventing their travel south.
Exactly. Like either way, they're going to be pinched to a point where they're either going to have to reposition. They're going to have to move out towards the water, or they're going to be pinched into this pinch down here as they're funneled in.
Love it. I love it. And this continues for several hours. This back and forth of maintaining the wall and maintaining any sort of flying force from breaching straight over. Eventually, they start to move around. They start as they realize that things are starting to falter at this wall. They start moving inward in this direction, and then these guys start appearing. Their slow march finally approaching. Nope, not there. Just there. In the high points. The main fighting force seems to still be focused on the Wolf Crest. However, it only intensifies. I also have to bring these guys out. I did mention them. Now these scythe bugs seem to like take the edge paths, moving their way around. They don't have the climbing capabilities of their foot soldiers, but they start moving. Well, no, they have climbing capabilities, but they don't come in the droves, as previously stated. So they're more like opportunists, if that makes sense. So that's the state of our battlefield at the moment. Does anybody want to reposition, redirect, or do anything before they start their assault?
I don't know how wherever my skyship position is, but seeing as Trixie may eventually be overwhelmed, I'd like to bring the skyship and whatever reinforcements we have to secure the air, as well as just cover that spot, and especially since she's kind of funneling them kind of northward to kind of to act as that that wave of reinforcement, so that there's a place for these things to go to die. So yeah, can we do
So
that?
I will say
along for the
this,
ride.
because I forgot Zoom. He did drive himself sideways to assist in this area
Okay.
and sort of. Well, Zoom, you describe it to me.
I'm going just full like Tasmanian devil, basically in the sky.
Is this airship just gonna be spinning?
Yeah, I'm a helicopter. I'm full helicopter.
That's a great
Do
Do
image,
his
man.
bangs just
Zoom
spin
has
around?
wings. He doesn't. Zoom has wings. He doesn't need an airship.
Oh, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I do have wings.
Okay, I was imagining an airship just like spinning. Like, what is this?
It's like a helicopter where the blades stay in place and the body spins around.
Yeah, but the body
Yeah.
spins around.
And I'm just
That's my
like
headcanon.
grabbing things out of the air, like ripping their limbs off, throwing them at
Ooh.
other things.
That's fucking cool.
Like monkey, like throwing myself from one person to the next. Just like fully ripping them apart as I make my way southeast.
Very good.
Sylvia's impressed. And Directum's like, Zoom's got it.
It's like in the first Avengers movie when like Hulk is like bouncing between the buildings and like
Yeah.
taking out Avatar
Oh,
and,
that's a good image. That's a good image.
like basically that. It's like,
Hulk with wings.
yeah,
Oh,
Hulk with
crap.
wings. So, like, yeah.
As you all crush the army before you and things begin to escalate, several of you start to realize a couple things. The foot soldier armies are now approaching, and the tunnels that have opened up will not stop. There has been a relentless number of things pouring from where these centipede creatures have erupted from. Now, to take you back to a place in your memory, you start to realize there is an open portal into the Sinborn realm in Hinterwood.
Oh. Oh boy.
No one has mentioned it up till now, but as the onslaught of Sinborn continue and are unrelenting, one could assume that these centipede creatures are sourcing a tunnel straight from Hinterwood.
Oh my god. It is StarCraft. It's the tunnels.
Now, I didn't open the portal in Hinterwood. That was Tyler. So blame him. However, I bid you start thinking bigger. Because you could stay on these walls as long as you want. But it's starting to become clear to all of you that it is ceaseless at this point.
Where do we have to go? Because we're currently being surrounded on like 3 fronts, except for like the northwest or southwest, approximately. Like, do
I
we
would argue there are
away?
5 fronts.
There's 5 fronts. Yeah. Okay.
Technically, the city is a single front, but if you want to look at the walls and you want to
Yeah,
look at
look
like
at
sort of
Yeah.
5-ish.
All right.
Josh, thank you for rejoining us. I was just reminding everyone that there's an open, gaping maw in Hinterwood to the Sinborn realm, and that nothing has let up after hours of fighting.
No particular reason. But how many days of a flight is it to Hinterwood?
Days of flight? Probably 2
Okay.
Yeah.
over the mountains.
And it's been like under a day so far of siege currently.
It's been under a day, yes. Whatever these creatures are have been tunneling for many moons.
Hot damn. Is there a way to find out like if we could find the hole, like that they have made here? Like
I would say find the hole. There
Yes.
are 3 creatures who have made a hole.
okay.
Oh,
So
what else are you talking about?
Okay, never mind. That's
You're
all
saying
answers the
like
question.
collapse the tunnels that they're coming.
Yeah, collapse the
from.
tunnels basically, but
okay.
yeah.
I
But if
mean,
there's 3, then
we have explosives,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
and it could stem the tide.
Yeah, but I don't know. Can we put it in all 3 holes? Is the thing.
Well, you said we have 11.
You shut the fuck up, Josh, with your goddamn eyes.
Could we explode in all 3 holes?
I finished the lowlands.
I
Drink
too.
it all.
How was it?
Phenomenal. This is a 200 milliliter bottle, so that's
Lowlands away.
But this is, I guess, Wolf
Who still has their
strategizing
heroic
with Sylvia at the
inspiration
moment.
left?
What was that?
Who still has heroic inspiration?
I do
Vulcan
not.
does.
I do.
Should use that so we don't get it back.
I know.
Boss does.
Yeah, I use it for 3 arrows at a time.
Yeah, I mean, if we're all trying to blow it right now, so we can get it all back, yeah.
Unless you want us to pick it up. And you could hell dive
By
with
all
me.
means.
Ba, 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 ba.
Because that sounds like what we're gonna be doing.
So I'll go play a quick round of Helldivers, everyone.
And if it fails,
Well, I mean, we're
Or
all
easy.
dead anyway at that point, so
well, what do you guys intend to do? Who will you divert to what? I never said I would make it easy.
Starts right there.
This is just open floor.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, but it is.
You could do it in character or not.
can't do. Okay, never mind. We could take the Sky Dancer. And do a kind of round, circuitous route. Come on.
Are you picking people up?
I mean, we could.
I have fog cloud. It's 100. I can cast fog cloud.
And at least Wolf can skydive safely.
Yeah, I can cast fog
What does
cloud,
that mean?
and I can misty
He-
step.
He can give himself a fly speed of 10 feet,
Oh, okay.
so I
got it.
can, and I can hover, so I can pop that like right before I land to kind of pull the chute
Gotcha.
Mm.
and not take full damage, or at least minimal.
So just to kind of get clear, are you looking to go into the hole, like shock?
I
Trooper
mean,
into
if-
it?
I imagine if we want to use the explosives, we would have to get that close, or drop it from up high and hope we hit. But that
Yeah.
probably will be very inaccurate.
What if? Well, I mean, if you come pick me up, I can cast Fog Cloud on the Sky Dancer, and we can move a bit more stealthily,
Isn't it
where
Fog
they don't
Cloud?
see it.
Just
Wouldn't it
moving
just
fog.
be a large fog cloud in the sky?
Yeah.
I would also
Totally
like-
natural.
okay, I will state this as well. As I'm thinking about this, I'm not thinking. So
You're
you
not
guys are
thinking,
able
what?
to
Yeah, you
select.
put out there.
Okay, my
As I'm
apologies.
thinking about this, I'm not think. And then we lost you.
I'm not. You are not required to attack every single thing I throw at you. Prioritize. Don't think. I will close every bug hole available. Choose.
I mean, just one or two, just kind of getting at
Well,
least some
I
to
think
get
what
kind
we
of
should do is,
spread out front.
my thought is we should try and close one of these far ones first.
Yeah, I vote the east. one.
Preferably, yeah, definitely that one, because then we can funnel their forces more this way,
Yeah.
which is what we are after. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
we-
yeah.
And then we can just do that.
Ideally, we can get this one as well,
Right.
just so we can funnel everything towards this gate or these two that are more easily defendable.
Okay.
have I
so
done
I have,
too much?
I have 11 charges. I don't know how much will be enough. But
Should maybe
We can-
assess on site.
we
What's
can
up?
assess on site. Yeah, do like what 2 and see how that does. I don't know if that will be enough though. But yes, I'm more than willing to part ways with these vials and drop them in so that we can close at least that one that you're talking about.
Then
I
I'll
won't
say
be
this.
shock driving in there. I'm gonna be staying in the distance.
Then I'll say this. What resources are you committing to this? And who's going?
I'll go.
That's one.
Zoom can go because he can fly people out if need be.
That's two.
The strategy is ranged for the portals. I missed the.
In my mind, it's kind of a more get in, get out as quick as possible. Like get in, place the charges, just try to.
Oh
knock
yeah,
it
to
out.
drop them. Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
airdrop them.
That seems
basically.
more ranged.
Sort of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe not necessarily like airdrop the charges, but kind of people drop in, plant the charges, and then get evacuated out as quick as possible back onto their ship. That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, we can try dropping the charges from the sky,
Mm-hmm.
but in my mind, that sounds less accurate. And we only have a limited number, so we want to make them count.
If that's the case, I'll come along with the charges, and with the intent that I could remotely hit them with my flint arrows, and explode on contact.
Do I have fire arrows? I do not. Never mind.
Yeah. I'm thinking we could just divert like half of my charges, but that would make it so that we have no exit. So, but this would
I
eliminate
mean,
one.
you can always like jump off the walls and
Yeah.
be creative and stuff.
Okay.
Also, have to
wanna-
go through them.
Yeah. So we could commit 5 charges out of my 11, and we'll try to like collapse this thing. Sound okay?
I'm cool with it.
All right, so I've got a Zoom, a Sylvia, and a Wolf going.
Okay.
To this
Do you need a Vulcan?
easternmost. How many people do you want to dedicate to this?
Like player characters or like
Yep.
troops?
I
too?
mean,
You guys are assets. And you also have assets to burn.
No, I'll keep whatever archers and stuff I have in my command, doing basically what I was doing back in the city. So, but I should go.
Yeah.
What are your final orders before you go?
Um,
And I say final, non-committally. I'm sure you'll be back.
yeah. Totally. They not one for words. Hit 'em where it hurts. They bleed, they die. Godspeed. That's it.
And you
I just-
depart. You guys are taking the Sky Dancer, was it?
it's the
Uh,
quickest one.
or whatever. I think
It is
whatever
indeed
one
the
I have.
quickest one.
It is the quickest one. Okay.
Yeah. No,
And I imagine
these
we would want
two
that.
pale imitations are not nearly as
Plus,
quick.
we would want the flyers to remain kind of dedicated and distracted by the two others, so they don't come swarm us. So, in my mind, other people can chime in too, but we'd want to kind of go like a more circuitous route.
So yeah, so
kind of like
basically kind of like
southeast and then north, to avoid the bulk of the flyers and not just go straight there, because then they could break off and get us.
okay.
And kind of like try to fly low.
So like a little bit of a ellipses.
Yeah, sort of.
Kind of
Like a
bit-
J shape starting from the
Yeah. Okay.
moon, something
I dig it.
not up to the
Let's do it.
northeastern centipede.
Sylvia, I can't see you on this map for some reason. Probably because
Oh.
your token is buried. Can
Yeah,
you just move yourself up?
Yeah.
Under this guidance? Oh, never mind.
There you
It's on the. There you go. Yeah.
Hang on. Nope, I can't. I don't. I'll just put it there. You all are a group moving in a circuitous motion in that direction. Now let's handle this shit as you guys move over. You guys see this large poisonous centipede creature. The tunnels surrounding its abdomen are glowing a bright acid green.
Pile Titan.
What?
Pile Titan.
What?
Anyway, never mind.
What is it?
I said Bile Titan.
Oh, you're making a Helldivers reference?
Yes.
Sorry.
Those references are not done yet. Just hang on. But as you see the creature spilling forth from it, it looks as though it's like coming from within, not without. Does that make sense?
Like the centipedes are spawning
Yes.
these.
It's like
Like
birthing it.
they are the source of.
Maybe not birthing, but they are the catalyst for why things are coming forth.
Okay.
The tunnels that are. Sorry, go ahead.
Go finish your explanation. That might answer my question.
Yeah, the tunnels that it has spread forth, like you see all 6 of its exposed legs gripped onto the ground as though it's just like trying to hold on while it directs things forth. And as you watch these creatures spilling out, it almost looks like there's like a portal at its base. That
Okay,
it's
so
maintaining, that it's just
so
like spilling things forward.
basically the creature is the tunnel. It hasn't dug a tunnel and it's just hanging by the entrance.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I could dig this judgment. Yeah. Or yeah. All right. Are we sending someone in?
Zoom's here.
Zoom.
Zoom in.
All right.
He's
I'll hand
going
you the
to
charges.
Zoom in.
If you can get close enough, attach this where it hurts. I could detonate it at range. I'll give it to Zoom. If you're going in.
Zoom, it's in your claws,
Alright.
I guess.
Wolf will also, for democracy,
Oh, wheelchair.
for super wheelchair,
For super cool.
but I can conjure a barrage to give some cover as we land.
Okay.
So if there's any kind of small dudes, I can do that and kind of play kind of rear guard guy as Zoom runs in and plants the charges.
Sure, you can certainly try.
I may need, I can only fly at a speed of 10 feet, so I may need a little bit of help to get in the air. As
Or
we
the
head
airship
out.
could get closer.
I mean, that too.
I can fall.
with style.
So what is the plan exactly?
So what I'm interpreting it as is I'm giving Zoom charges so that he can manually plant these charges at the source of the, I guess, where they're coming from.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
And then Wolf is providing cover fire for anything that might be coming towards
As Zoom is planting the
Zoom
charges.
as he's planting the charges. And once Zoom is at a comfortable range outside of after planting the charges, Sylvia, will use a flint arrow and will trigger the explosion with Zoom hopefully safely out of range, but exploding the explosive at the source of the portal. That makes sense.
And Wolf, what is it? What is your play in this whole thing?
So pretty much like as we're going down, I'm gonna conjure a barrage to kind of clear the landing zone,
Okay.
and then depending on how much foot soldier traffic descends upon us, I'll either just kind of take normal pot shots, or I think I can do web to kind of like web them and slow them down.
So this is one of those scenarios where you all need to like roll because you guys are doing a very obvious and high threat
Expect it.
sort of thing.
Yeah,
So-
it's pretty risky.
Yeah,
It's very risky. But by all means, let's start it.
Okay.
Zoom, you have these charges. How many charges are you giving Zoom?
5. So
5 out of the 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Zoom, you have 5 of these rattling charges. You scoop them up, and they're literally just like bottles clacking together. And you're like, "You all right?" And so you start flying down in there. Wolf, where are you trying to conjure your barrage from? Are you attempting to be closer? Or are you trying to do it from the airship?
I imagine I'm doing it like as I'm like head first diving down and like sort of like out as I'm landing.
I'll also say as part of this, while we're falling down, if they do see me at some point, like as soon as they get like within getting kind of close to me, I'll use my Firbolg magic and turn invisible for 6 seconds as I'm falling, so that they lose sight of me.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like it. I love
Okay.
that.
Pass through.
Forgot he's a fur boat.
I like that. So,
Oh, yeah.
Sylvia, are you on the
Basically,
ship?
distraction while he
Yes,
plants
I will
the
be staying
charges.
on the ship.
There and there. We'll say, because you've only got 10. Zoom, what is your fly speed?
Good question. I think it's just my regular speed, which is 40 feet, but let me double check. Inventory.
While that's happening, because I'm not sure if
30
Zoom has message. Oh, sorry, 30 feet. Is that?
Uh-huh.
But I'm not sure if Zoom has message, but like I'll just basically like every 6 seconds just relaying the message of position, or go, and then just so that he has the opportunity to be like, yes,
You just hear back.
go.
My
Yeah.
mouth is doing like the air thing. Like,
All right. Wolf, conjure barrage. Let's start with that.
Where is it?
Da, 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 da.
I think it's
Da,
technically,
da.
it's a saving throw. Technically, it's a saving throw. It would be dexterity for anything. But
Ammunition in the air to create a cone. 60-foot cone. In the area, creature 3d8. Alright. So, like, Zoom, what are you aiming for? You aiming for, like, the direct, like, maw of the portal? Or something higher?
yeah, probably more the portal. So I'll try to get as low as I can.
Okay.
But something that's still hopefully easier for Sylvia to shoot at. So like on its back near the like where the portal, or if it's a portal or I don't know what it is, but tunnel
Opening.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like where this
Roll
creature's
two-
back and tunnel meet. Is what
Roll
I mean.
2d12 for me then, Zoom.
Okay.
Wolf, you scatter your barrage across the entrance of this portal. And the initial you time it as you move your crossbow around. For that initial crush, Zoom drops in with his charges. Most of the creatures that are in that immediate vicinity die. But there's still so many around the centipede that are still crawling out.
Mhm.
Zoom, as you drop in, how careful are you going to do this? You're going to drop this from on high, or are you trying to like just...
I mean, the idea is speed at first, so I'm just trying to cover as much ground as I can first and see how far I get, and then from there I'll make a decision basically.
Gotcha. I'll say if you wanted to drop in on the barrage that Wolf set, that would be the easiest way. You can drop them in and start flying out, but creatures are like jumping at you, slavering at the attempt to damage you as best I can.
Yeah, let him try. I'm made of hit points.
I'm rolling a Silvio Moon Whisper, apparently.
I don't know. Okay.
Betray. Betray.
Sure. 22.
Do you resist magical damage?
I resist it. I just resist slashing, bludgeoning, piercing. Of all varieties. Doesn't matter if it's magical or not.
For your bear totem? I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, no, barbarians don't care
I
about.
Yeah,
They
I
don't
don't
care.
care if
Not-
it's magical
Bear
damage or
totem
not.
is just,
Take 11.
more-
Yeah. Okay.
Take 11.
Boink.
Now, Sylvia, I need you to roll an arrow. Dexterity plus d20, proficiency. Just roll a ranged attack.
Okay.
River will give you his inspiration.
I have an inspiration.
Oh,
I'll
you
use
have-
my,
Okay, yeah. If you
Yeah.
don't have it, I'll give it to you.
I will use my current regular inspiration to re-roll that, please. Roll better.
That's much better.
24.
You see the creatures as they chase after Zoom. They're like, ah. And as he's out of reach, they look back and they see the chargers. And they attempt to dive on them as though to smother them. But your arrow strikes true. With the 5 charges you laid, an enormous explosion rips this creature in half and it goes sideways as it tilts. It's still connected on one side, but it's not enough sinew to just like keep it upright. It just drives this way and collapses into the ground and starts slithering back into the hole. Presumably closing off of this hole.
Just like grab Zoom as he comes back in. No words, just like.
A lot. Meanwhile, the city walls are inundated with creatures, but none more so than the wall that Trixie is on, as her air support is lost. Everything sort of diverts in this direction in one last push. Trixie, your soldiers start to waver. As more and more pour over the walls, it's becoming increasingly more hopeless. Brandon, are you with me? Or are you napping?
Brandon, are you with me?
Brandini.
Hello, Brandini, are you there?
The great Brandini.
Brandini, are you with us? And
Well, I
can you
think-
show us your hair?
Then to rejoin
Go back.
this-
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine.
We'll hit him.
But you guys do not
but-
get an option right now.
Yep.
You guys have gone off and done a thing. Like, you guys don't now get to immediately reinforce.
No, at this moment in time, our intention is to
Yeah.
health.
You're
To
at this point celebrate your victory with any knowledge of what's about to happen. You don't get to tell me what to do. Good. The left flank is starting to collapse.
Oh, there.
Things are starting to turn sideways
Hello. Okay.
across this area.
Latency's a little bad right now.
To the point we need to start.
We need to start diverting forces in that direction.
Walking a little